USAPL sponsored gym in Georgia as well.
And what's that gym?
Trueborn Strong.
There we go.
Gotta give a little shout out for those guys.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we truly do have an action-packed week ahead of us, and this is just the starting point, ladies and gents. So today, we are going to be seeing the majority of our lightweight men and women compete today. In this session here, it's going to be our 48, 52, 56 kilo ladies, as well as, if I'm not mistaken, some of our lads in the 56 to 60 kilo class.
Yeah, I think so. We'll be getting that towards the end of the day. We got three flights for today? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got 3 flights on both platform 3 and 4. And I think, we got the lighter, I think it's the lighter guys towards the end of the day. Yep.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, we got a Georgia boy coming in today at Flight C. Shreyas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, like Siraj said, we've got 3 full flights of action here. And just to kind of give you all just a quick rundown of what the action is going to look like on the screen if this is your first time watching USA Powerlifting. So obviously on the platform we see our lifters. So platform 3, we've got Miss Ava Allen. Platform 4, Miss Emily Nyo. And right now we're squatting. So that first lift is going to be the squat. All of our lifters in their flights will take all of their opening squats. And then we'll go back to the top of the order. They'll take their second attempts. And then their third attempts. Move on to the next flight. And then once every flight has done their attempts, we move on to bench and then deadlift.
Yes, and we will also be having a 10-minute break after all the squats are done. So that means we'll be able to take a little break, take a little bit of breather, and then go straight from there. But again, just so you guys know, each platform is going to be moving at different speeds. So one platform may be finishing before the other. So make sure you stay tuned as long as you can, because depending on where your lifter is or what your athlete or who you're supporting is, may be going a little bit faster than the other.
That's right, and it really does come down to, and I mean, perfect time to mention this, it really does come down to the staff and all the people that are helping make this meet possible. I mean, first and foremost, we want to thank A7 for not only providing, for being the primary sponsor for the Raw National Championship, but they've provided our outfits and stuff for our spotting and loading crew. They've provided all of our meet T-shirts. And they're just a phenomenal sponsor for USA Powerlifting in general, on all levels, from national to local. Right.
I'm really jealous of those spotter and loader shirts. I've been trying to get them, and I was like, man, I just got to somehow become a spotter and loader for this meet. I've been trying, man.
That's the only way you can get one of those, apparently.
Yes.
I was informed of that recently. You have to volunteer at a national level meet in order to get the coveted A7 platform crew shirt.
And just to let you guys know, as a state chair, I do run quite a bit of meets here in Georgia. Volunteers help run a meet. So if you're out there and you want to support this sport or anything like that, please volunteer. You can do commentating, you can do spotting and loading, you can do organizing and checking members in, or just making sure that people know where they're going. This helps meets run, and this helps meets run efficiently.
Absolutely.
So, all right, we are still on first attempts. You're going to be focusing on platform 3, I'll be focusing on platform 4. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, we'll just trade off as we see it.
Yeah.
So coming up on platform 3 here, Miss Katie Lee in the open 52 kilo weight class. So she's going to be opening up with 275 pounds for an opening squat.
And then we got Angelina Spirazzi. I'm going to mispronounce that last name. Spitzieri. Ooh, Spitzieri. And she's going to be attempting 117.5.
If I'm not mistaken, she was one of the junior lifters last year that podiumed, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right. I think she did.
And then she's also a member of Prime Predator Performance. If any of you all know the infamous Ray Williams of powerlifting.
I'm pretty sure a few people know who he is. He's got like a big bench, right?
Something like that.
Bench, right? Alrighty, let's get it going. All right.
To orient you guys kind of what we're seeing on the screen here. So if you're looking at the bottom, that's going to be kind of our heads-up display, right? So platform 3, Julianne Newell. Platform 4, Miss Angelina Spitzieri. You're going to see their names. Obviously, right below their names, it's going to show their weight class. So for Julianne, in this instance, she is listed as a guest lifter.
Right.
what would constitute someone being a guest lifter?
So from when we run meets like that, we would normally, if they either have missed weight or have timed out and not getting to a weight. So usually it is if they miss weight class, majority of the reason, if they are a guest lifter. I see Angelina is timing out for her squat. I don't know if there's an issue back there in the warm-up room or she's just going to do it again. But like when a lifter misses weight, they go as a guest lifter, still giving them the opportunity to make sure that they can compete in the meet, because again, you put this much work and put this much time. It'll be unfortunate not to put some numbers up, but
of course,
it's just they're not in the competition for a medal.
Right.
Oh, we got Miss Heather Foss coming in. She's also a state chair, I think, South Carolina. Awesome.
One of my home states.
Oh, yeah?
She herself a coach of a couple lifters this weekend.
Yeah.
One of them competing in Primetime, personal friend of mine, Lorenzo Wright. Hey, Lorenzo, if you're watching. But Heather Foss, multi-time national level lifter in both Open and Masters 1.
Right.
So we're looking to see a solid performance here from Heather, representing Titus Strength and Performance.
Right.
Looks like a good lift for Leia on platform 3. Up next is Miss Claudia Romero.
There you go, Heather. That was a great depth for her. Hopefully BJ Foss is listening too, giving a big shout out as well. And that was 2 white lights. So let's tell us about some red lights. Why would a lifter get a red light for a squat?
I love getting tossed up my own questions. This is awesome.
What are you talking about? Because we do this all the time.
Oh, yeah. So, ladies and gents, if you're watching at home, there's obviously for these lifts to count, right? Yeah. They have to satisfy some sort of requirements or some standard, right?
Right.
The biggest of those standards, especially when we get into the squat, is going to be satisfying that depth, right? And depth, when you're looking at it from the point of view of the referees,
right,
you want to be sure that your hip crease, when you're at the complete bottom of that squat, is below that top surface of the knee, right? So as long as that hip crease is below that surface, that does satisfy depth.
Right.
That's going to be the most commonly called infraction there. So we saw Claudia Romero for her second attempt. She did miss that on depth.
So you will have to look at it. So you'll be able to see where the lights are. So you have the lights. So when it says a red, there are 3 colors. So you got red, yellow, and blue. The red means that they did not hit depth at all, right? And then a red-blue would be a representation if there's up and down motion of the bar. And then red-yellow is a numerous amount of things. It's like if they miss a command, if their feet move while squatting, if their knees don't lock out, or things like that.
If their hands move on the bar.
Yes.
I've seen that a couple times as well. It's kind of a catch-all. So it does sound like there could be a lot of constraints you could say that our lifters have to lift in, but that further lends to the standard of competition and the truly high level of competition that these lifters are competing at. You know, if they can satisfy all of those requirements at all of the prior levels. So this is national, so they would have had to have qualified at a state or regional level meet. So if
after this, right?
Or after this. That's right. That's right.
It's not before yet. Before this meet, you could have done it any local meet or anything like that. But now after this meet, you will have to do it at a regional, national, or a state level meet. One, I run states, so I know it's going to be a bigger event because now people have to do state meets in Georgia or wherever you are from to get your numbers to get qualified for the national meets. And it's just only for Raw Nationals. It doesn't talk for CNATs or high school nats or anything like that.
Right.
Correct. Good. All right. We're almost wrapping up. I think Flight A, our end, we're on second attempts on Platform 4.
Yep, looks like we're moving and grooving on both ends here. Platforms 1 and 2, both on second attempts here. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching over on Platform 4, it looks like Miss Angelina Spitzieri, she did, if you were watching, she timed out her opening attempt, which means that she didn't come out for her attempt. She let the clock wind down, gave the other lifters that full minute of rest. But it looks like she didn't put in an attempt for her second. So it's very possible that, there might be something going on behind the curtain in the warm-up room where she's not coming out for her squat. But if you don't come out for a certain lift, what happens then?
So you have the option. You can put like a 0 to make sure that you can give one more time for consideration for the lifters to go to the next thing. 2, you could have the option to come back and do bench and deadlift if that's something you want. or 3, it is an option. She could, or it's just an option that you could just drop out of the meet altogether. We would love to see her come back out, so we don't know what's going on behind the platform. We'll hope everything is okay and that we can hopefully see her back at bench or deadlifts. All right.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, we're looking good over here on platform 4. Good bit.
That's a lot of green.
A lot of green.
And folks, if you're watching over at home and you don't know what the heck Suraj and I are talking about, go ahead and hop on over to your Google, Mozilla, Firefox, Linux for all you computer nerds. Go ahead and type in liftingcast.com /
there you go, Leticia. That was a good grind right there for Leticia. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Go ahead and check out liftingcast.com / meets. Raw Nationals Day 1 should be that very first link.
Right. Yes, and again, when you hit the link for Day 1, it should show you the platform. So if you know where your lifter is at, go on the platform so you can see where they're at. I would suggest to hit what is it called, board display or something like that. So that'd be a great time. All right, Julia Macaldo is going to be attempting 107.5 for her second attempt. And then we got Martha. By all means, try that last name. Do it.
Looks like Sikitas.
Sikitas? Yes, 125. That's a big second attempt right there. You guys, it's great. There you go, Julia. Martha.
Very clean grind there from Marta. Looks like she hit.
Her elbows hit her legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was going to say something about that. So one thing is, let's see what the referees say. Okay, that's good.
It's a good lift.
Yeah, so one thing, why we were waiting for the attempt is so there's a rule. If your elbows support yourself at the bottom of a lift at a squat, where you're using your elbows to either push up to get yourself to get stopped or come out of the hole, that is a no lift because that is supporting and not driving on your legs, obviously, to get back up. How long you been reffing?
Less than a year.
Less than a year.
I've been reffing for less than a year, but I mean we've been in the sport for almost a decade now. So
I mean when you become a coach, you kind of have to learn the rules, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah,
right.
you got to learn the ins and outs. You have to be just as much of an authority on the rules, the regulations, as our referees do. You know, just in case there's any discrepancies on the platform, you're able to combat that.
Right. And I always recommend any coach to really freshen themselves up on the rules and everything like that. The reason is like, one, especially at high-level competitions, there's a jury.
Yes,
there's a jury out there.
I was just about to mention that. Okay, talk about what a jury is.
So I think there's 3 jurors for every 2 platforms. So it's going to be 3 juries for platform 1 and 2, 3 juries for platform 3 and 4. And what these jurors are looking is watching the lifts as much as the 3 referees that are on the platform right now. So what happens is, let's say, for example, Alexa, who's got a 120 squat right now, if she does get a red, which I know she won't because it looks like a solid weight. I saw her previous lift. Let's see what Alexa goes. Oh, super smooth, super smooth. If, say, the referees give her a red light for any consideration, either for something like for depth or for up and down motion or anything like that, the coach, I would prefer the coach, not the athlete, would go to the jurors, say, hey, I thought that was a clean lift. The jurors are going to come talk to themselves, possibly talk to the referees on the platform, and either confirm or make sure it's a good lift or a bad lift. Yep. And then they can either overturn or keep the lift as is. Especially at this high-level meets, you want to be on top of the referees because you want to make sure that you know what's going on and how you can benefit your lifter. All right, Alicia and Marielle.
Very clean squat for Alyssa on 4. Let's see Marielle.
Oh, Marielle, come on. Let's go.
She finds her way up. I wonder if there was any up and downward motion. I didn't see any. Let's see if our referees did.
Let's see.
But they didn't see up and down motion, but they did see depth.
So, yes. So, again, if I was a coach and if I believe that was a hit depth, go to the jurors, submit your claim, and that you can see if they can overturn it.
Right. And here's Miss Heather Foss on platform 4 again, going up 5 kilos.
And then Katie Lee going up 7.5 kilos from 125 to 132. Let's go, Heather. There you go, Heather.
Very clean squats on both platforms there.
She was very happy with that. You can see the smile on her face.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And that's one of my favorite things to watch as I'm powerlifting. Oh, excuse me. Hold on, stop the presses. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to put all of your attention on platform. Oh, wait, it's gone now.
It was up, and then it went away.
It was up, but for those of you that were watching there on platform 3, it looks like we've got a world record attempt for Leia Alanis.
T2, world record attempt. That is, how old is that? That is 16, 17 years old. 52 kilos, 135 kilos. Everyone, I hope you're watching platform 3 right now. There you go. Come on. Loving that A7 singlet.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Does she have more in the tank?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Realistically, she probably has another 5 kilos. You know, she can do those even 5 kilo jumps.
Oh, yeah.
I think she's good.
Yes. So talk to me, as a coach, how important are jumps?
You have no idea how important jumps are. And I like to preface that every power lifter on the platform is different.
Yes.
Right? Every single power lifter is different in terms of their methodologies, their mentalities. How they approach the platform is going to be different, right? How they lift on the platform across a meet is going to be different. Right? And so as a coach, you're trying to set your lifter up for as much success as possible. Right? You want them to obviously get all their attempts. Right. But you also want them to add as much as you can to their total so that they have a shot at a podium or a prize, right? And it really does take just 100% attention from the coach and watching that athlete, right? Watching how they come up from the platform after a squat, looking at their mentalities. Right. Are they frustrated? Are they happy? Are they nervous? Right. Based on how slow that was, do they have 2.5, 5, 7, 10 kilos left?
And it's not only your lifter. You're looking at other lifter. Because if you're competing and trying to podium, you got to see what your competition is and how they're moving their weight and how you have to make your adjustment. Because remember, after each attempt, you have 1 minute to submit your next attempt.
That's right.
So depending on how fast the meet is moving, you can either theoretically wait to see what the next lifter is doing, or you have to wait till the last minute to put in your next attempt.
Right. Here's Jade Chambliss on 3.
We're on 3rd attempts on flight A already.
And across the board here.
Yeah. We're moving very smooth. I think you're on your second lifter, I'm on my second lifter, we're doing great.
And listen, that's when platforms run on time, it's awesome. It really is. Here's Jade. Gonna have to get help from the spotters and loaders there. Good grab there.
Good catch. All right, Lynn Mary is going to be doing it. Did a 12-kilo jump, 12.5 kilo jump from her first attempt. That's good. Masters 2 lifter.
Very clean.
Amazing. Very smooth. Let's see what the judges say. Referees, sorry. I did get yelled at about that one time. I can't say judges because it's two different things. It's referees.
I'll say the judges are on the jury.
Yes, the judges are on the jury. The referees are on the platform.
All right, here's Miss Michelle Emerson on 3. Looking to retake 120 kilos. She did miss that first one on depth. So we'll see if she's able to come back here.
All right.
On 4, Leticia DeSantis looking to retake 102.5.
Yes, she is. A7 knee sleeves, love that.
Michelle Emerson, 2-1. She's on the board.
Good.
And Leticia.
Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yep.
I looked about the same. I wonder if it was deep enough.
Oh, there you go. She got it. Referees. And here's another thing. Can other coaches challenge other lifters?
100%.
Yes.
100%.
So,
and you won't see that too often like in these daytime sessions. But, I mean, let's say there's a super, super close battle like we're going to see at some of our primetime sessions later on this week. Let's say a lifter gets a squat that 100% looks not to depth.
Yeah.
A rival coach can go to the jury and be like, hey, what was that? You know? And as long as they have one red light, they can contest.
Yes.
If it's 3 white lights, you got to slap down a nice little $20 bill.
Yep.
in order to make that challenge.
Is it 20 or it's 100?
I thought it was 20. I think they lowered it to 20. I could be completely wrong.
I've
never done it, so I don't know.
yeah. It's really hard to be like, when you have 3 referees say like 3 white lights, you're like, all right. All right, Marta and Emily. Marta doing a 10-kilo jump from her first attempt. Emily doing a 15-kilo jump from her first attempt. Look at that. All right, Emily. All right, Marta, let's see what it's got. Good.
Is she going to find her way out of the hole?
Go. Oh, she gave it all. That was RPE 10, RPE 11 right there.
Absolutely.
She gave it all. I'll be happy with that. I mean.
And that's another thing that you're, like, when you're looking at as a coach, right? Let's say you have a whole competition, right? And depending on your lifter's preference of, do they like squatting? Do they like benching? Are they better at deadlift? You want to judge your attempts and judge your jumps so that you're not basically selling your soul on squat. I've reached that point a couple times where I'm a squat specialist. I love squatting, but I'll put so much weight on that squat that I don't have any room for deads. And arguably, deadlifts are where the game begins.
Yeah.
So if all these coaches and all these lifters are back here doing so much brain work, so much just back and forth with the numbers, with other people's numbers, just to put their lifter in the best position possible.
Right. You're a squat specialist? I'm a show up to a meat specialist.
Melissa, what a grind that was.
Good. That was good. I love her hair. Purple hair, looking great. There you go.
Flick, 3 white lights.
There you go. All right, we got Alicia, 125 kilos, 52 junior. So again, it's not only just the open. We got juniors, masters, teens up at these platforms right now. There you go. 3 white lights. Alexa Tone is up next, and Ava Allen is up next.
Ooh, itsy bitsy Ava is up on platform 3, ladies and gents.
I've been watching her for a long time. I've been watching her for a long time compete. She's a frequent nationals competitor. I've gotten to commentate over her lifts a couple times. She super strong, super great coach as well. Very sweet. Very well known up north in the New York area. Oh, man.
Rocking the 110% singlet as a shout out to Mr. Kevin Papa. He'll be here later on today.
Oh, yes. I got to get myself some Catalyst from him.
I also have to get me some of his Focus capsules.
I just restocked on that.
They're awesome.
So good. Shout out to Kevin.
I'll say shout out 110%.
Yes.
He'll be here later, one of our primary sponsors for the Raw National Championship.
He actually sponsored the Georgia State meet, too.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Go him.
Yeah, he was awesome. Great to have him again. Heather Foss is back up next to the platform, and Marielle up on platform 3. Let's see, Heather Foss, 130 kg jump, 130 kgs.
And here's Marielle Opena, going to retake 132.5 kilos. Now, we were worried about her squat. Now, Marielle, she had that up and down motion, but they called her on depth. So as long as she can get deep enough and find enough power out of the hole.
Good.
Like that.
That looked great. That looked very smooth. Let's see what the referees say. Referees say, no depth.
It's going to be no lift. And that's kind of the trade-off that you get.
Yes, Heather. She's smiling. She's happy with that. Let's see what referees say. 2-1. 2-1. That's a good lift.
And just to reinforce, ladies and gents, you only need 2 white lights.
Majority rules. You only need 2 of them to like you.
Coming up next is Julianne Newell, platform 3.
And Meredith Brosh at platform 4.
And ladies and gents, if you're watching at home, go ahead and give us a shout out. Let us know who you're watching for, where you're watching from. We do have live chat open, so go ahead and give us a shout out. We love to let our lifters know that they're being supported all across the state or all across the country.
I'm gonna pull up the commentary box right now.
Nice.
We got Andy Ho shouting out for Emily No.
Okay.
LiftingCast is up. Katie Turner just says, "Let's go, Julia."
There we go.
There you go.
And she got that lift, so Julia's 3 for 3 on the day for squat.
Connie Turner, that's because of you, because you said, let's go, Julia.
Here's Miss Katie Lee. And I love, and this may sound a little, it just sounds a little weird, but it's interesting watching the lighter weight lifters and like the shorter lifters, because the knee sleeve looks like it takes up almost her entire leg. All that to say,
let's go, Katie. Let's go.
Oh
let's go.
my
Let's
gosh.
go. Oh, man. Let's see.
Three white
lights.
lights.
I love it. Oh, guys, another World Raw record attempt.
Yes, Miss Leia's going to be adding on 7.5 kilos to her already broken Team 2 56 kilo world record squat.
Do you know a Richard?
That's my lifter.
This is why we have the commentary up, so we can see what's going on.
That's right.
All right, Leah's going to do another world record, and we got Brittany Lee. We're already on flight B for Brittany Lee, opening it with 45 kgs. Oh, yes, Brittany. Good lift. All right, let's see this world record attempt. All right, another world record for Leah. I think that's what it is. And I think Flight 3 Flight 3 just started. Platform 3 started their second flight. All right.
Rachel Showers going to bring some squat flowers, 115 kilos. Very easy squat there.
All right, let's see what the referees say.
2-1?
2-1.
And that's what we're going to see a little bit more often with those lifters that have kind of a closer stance squat, because they don't have, their hips to kind of, what's the word, kind of disguise that depth, you could say. They have to just get that much lower in order to make it seem that they are hitting that depth.
What's the name of that squat usually people would call it? The French squat? Is that what it is?
The overseas, we call that le squat.
Le squat. All right.
Patria Jimenez. Oh, my gosh.
So talk to me about this. Why is her rack a little different?
So, lifters, once they come up to the platform, they, like I said, every lifter is different. They can come up to the platform with their own preferences, beliefs, etc. One of those is, where they put their hands on the squat, right? Some lifters have the hands all the way out to the end. Some lifters have their hands super close. Other lifters have kind of a horizontal walkout, we'll say. So they take a kind of a step outside of the rack whenever they take that squat out. And so if they hit the rack every time they do that, they can bring the racks in. They can bring the uprights in, just like we see Jen on Platform 3, and that's just another point of lifter preference. Just giving all of our lifters as equitable of a playing field as possible. Especially at a high competition like this.
And the thing is, you can do both or you can do one on each side. So let's say you take a big step in onto the right and you just want to bring the right side in, you can go ahead and do that. Me, I don't know about you, Nick. I have a super wide grip, so I have to go have my racks in completely.
I'm kind of in the middle. I mean, obviously more on the wider side, but my arms are way too long to have as close of a grip as I want on squat.
Yes.
So if I want to deal with some bicep pain, I'll do that.
Yes, I hear that. All right, Christina on Platform 4 and Tara on Platform 3. Tara's attempting 130. Christina is attempting 122.5. I think Christina's got the full A7 setup. Oh,
That's right. Tara Thomas walking out 130 kilos, 286 pounds. The braids of power. Very clean squat there.
Very nice.
And just look at the spotters and loaders. I mean, they're just quick with it. Dude. As soon as that lifter is off, they're getting that rack adjusted, the weights on for that next lifter. And like we were saying at the beginning, that truly does lend to the speed and the fluidity of the meet.
Right. Go, 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 Maddie. Good. Yes, if you have a good spotting and loading team, that meet's going to run efficient. But sometimes you as a coach have to think, all right, how fast is a meet moving?
Exactly.
Because you got to see, like, all right, how much time does it's going to take? How much minutes for your lifter's going to rest? Do you need to get more warmed up? All that fun stuff. There you go, Laura. There you go. That was a good push. 132.5.
And now again, we saw kind of that narrower stance there. 3 white lights. Excellent lift there. But we saw kind of that narrower stance. So
we got Laura Harriman. From Georgia.
Karen Wynn rocking the Helix singlet and sleeves.
Oh, we got some Helix sleeves over here with Marcella Lopez.
Now, I wonder if that was deep enough for the judges here. Let's see what they say.
Let's see what
I think it was good. It was not.
So, yes. So, remember, guys, it is important to focus on getting that depth. And for these high-level competitions, because all these referees are national levels. Or
or international even.
And yes, international. So these are important things to make sure that they're gonna be checking on everything.
All right, Diana Sanchez on platform 4, 135 kilos, 297 pounds. Megan Smith on platform 3, though, 140 kilos, 308 pounds. And this is our first of 2 sessions today, ladies and gentlemen. So this is our daytime session. And so all of our lifters, the majority of our lifters within these weight classes are going to be competing today in this session. And then later on this evening will be the primetime session.
Ooh,
which
I love primetime.
Oh, yes. And it's going to indicate the lifters that have reached that a certain DOTS requirement. And DOTS, for those of you at home, are just a scoring coefficient.
Yeah.
It allows us to match everybody up equally based on, age, weight, gender, that sort of thing.
No, DOTS, this one doesn't have age, I think. This is just only DOTS.
Oh, that's right. You are absolutely right. Yes.
Yes. Because there's 2 coefficients. You got DOTS and DOTS with age. Mm-hmm. So the reason why we use DOTS because we're trying to compare everyone for everyone. DOTS age, if you want to include like masters, teens against the younger, the most competitive classes. Ashley Tran on platform 3. Ariana, let's see, she had a great lift on platform 4.
Ashley Tran, I don't think she could have gone any deeper or any faster on that opening attempt.
No, we still got 2 more attempts for her, so that means she's got more time to show us.
There we go. Coming up next, Miss Rose Wong Stegura. Rose Wong, a kind of a stalwart figure in the 56 kilo class for the ladies. She, if I'm not mistaken, she's a collegiate national champion at the 56s. Rose looking to put up an excellent total here on the national stage.
Right.
And over on 4, we've got Caitlin Slovek, 308 pounds. Clean squat there for Rose Wong. Stegura, 3 white lights. Like we were talking about just a little bit ago, folks, after this session, we do have a little bit of a break, but you want to tune back into the YouTube somewhere around 5:30-ish for our primetime session. And those folks are those that, like we said, have reached that DOTS requirement. And it's essentially the best in the class.
Right.
You've got your best top 5 to 7 people in a particular weight class in the open division.
I think we had, let's see right here who we got competing tonight for the prime time.
So prime time, we've got the 56s for the 52s and the 56s for the ladies,
right?
As well as the 56s and the 60 kilos for the men.
Yes.
Olivia Liu, Bria Williams, Andrea Riley.
Right.
We've got Newton Chang coming up later on today. Yoshido Nishimura. I mean, it's going to be a solid class.
Oh yeah.
Solid session later on today.
Oh, we got a Georgia, Laura Harriman stepping up to the platform. Just so you know, she did win Best Female Lifter at the Georgia State Championship, and that was like over 300 lifters that weekend too. So I'm very excited to see her go on the platform.
And this is just something you mentioned this, but this is interesting to think about here. Lauren Harriman, you said she is the best female lifter in Georgia.
Yes.
I mean, by the book, she's the best female lifter in Georgia. And if you look, there's a little 11 next to her name.
Oh.
She's the best in Georgia, and she is sitting at 11th place overall. You want to talk about the level of competition that we're going to see all across the week. I mean, to be at the top of your class, to be the best in your state, and to be in the top 15, you want to talk about a stacked competition. Look no further than this, ladies and gents.
Big fan of Laura Harriman, been following her for a long time. So, and she's coached by Fuel, right?
Team Fuel, yes. Jaslyn Pepper.
Jaslyn Pepper, love her to death too. She also has a gym out in Georgia as well. You guys should check it out.
She just opened it, the Fuel Factory.
Fuel Factory, great place.
Here's Brittany Lee on 4.
Oh, she's got the full Hidden Village, right? Is that the Hidden Village one?
Village Hidden in Iron.
Ah, nice. Let's go, Lauren. There you go. Oh, yeah. Lauren's making it move so easy. 3 white lights.
And she's been here before, no? This is her second nationals, if I'm not mistaken.
Second or third, yes.
And so she's been at this stage before. She
Oh,
knows what's required. She knows all the variables that need to be put in place in order to put on that performance. Here's Patria Jimenez going up 7.5 kilos to 125.
Good jumps. And then Carissa Akil, I think that's how you say her name.
She's going 132.5 kilos, so 292.11 big ones. Patria walks back in that 125. It's going to be a 2-to-1 no lift there on depth. So like we were saying, folks, if you're watching at the bottom of the screen here, you're going to see 3 lights pop up at the end of the lift. If there's a red square with an X, and then there's a red, yellow, or blue color marking underneath that X, it means that it was a no lift for that referee.
Yes. And like we said earlier, each of those colors have a different meaning, so we'll definitely go into that a little bit later, especially when we get it back into bench and deadlifts, because each of them have different meanings. All right, Jen Avero and Rachel Showers up these platforms now.
And we're on second attempts already.
Yeah, for Flight B. We're moving fast. I like it.
Here's Miss Jen. Taking that 135. Very clean there.
And Christina Lynn back at the platform.
3 white lights. Coming up next on platform 3, Miss Tara Thomas going up 7.5 kilos. So that's about 15 pounds.
Christina looking good, speedy. I'm wondering what the referees say about depth. Let's see. I think it should be fine. Yep. 2-to-1. Still a good lift. Again, you only need two referees to say you had a good lift to keep moving on.
Sarah Crusilla on platform 4, going up 10 kilos to 281 pounds. Here's Tara Thomas.
Yes. I'm going to answer a comment on the live stream. Yes, we are going to see bench in this cast as well. It's just going to happen later. Like what Nick said earlier, we have to finish all 3 flights. So Flight A finished all their 3 attempts for squat. We're currently on Flight B, and they're on their 2nd attempts of squat. Then we have Flight C right after this, and then we will have a 10-minute break to make sure that we are going to go into the bench, and the same thing will go for the deadlift as well. So give us some time. We'll be able to hit up the bench real soon.
Here's Miss Laura Sue on platform 3, 137.5 kilos. And on platform 4, Marcela Lopez, both of our ladies in the 56-kilo weight class.
Yes.
And now if you're watching, folks, I mean, that just goes to show how deep the classes are.
Yeah.
And, you know, in order to get to nationals, you do have to hit that qualifying total.
Right.
And
let's see what Marcela Lopez, I know she missed her first attempt. Let's see what the referees say. Let's give it to her.
3 whites. She's on the board.
3 white lights. She's good. How many lifters are in each flight? Well, max can be up to 14. for each flight. So for platform 4, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lifters in flight A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 on flight B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, like 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 on flight C. So each flight is different, but the max for each flight is 14. Thank you, Cole Jenkins, for the question.
That's also my lifter.
Is it really?
It is.
All right. Well, we need some other people to ask us some questions.
I know. I feel like my lifters are kind of bolstering the chat there.
There you go.
Karen Wynn. 3 white lights.
So tell us about the timer, about how long the lifter has before they time out.
Absolutely. So all of our lifters have an allotted 1-minute timer on for their attempts.
Correct.
So as long as so once the bar is called loaded, once the spotters have placed the bar and set the rack height and all that stuff, head referee will call bars loaded.
Correct.
That will start the timer.
Right.
Okay. You have 1 minute from that point to get the squat command from that head referee. Okay, so you have that entire minute to get under the bar, get your setup, take your brace, do whatever you need to do. As long as you get that squat command from the head referee before that minute is up, you're okay.
Perfect.
If you do not get that, then we will, kind of what we were discussing earlier with a couple lifters, they're going to time out. And that just means that, that lift didn't happen. The clock ran out.
Right.
They have the option to retake that lift if it was just, something in the warm-up room. They obviously have the option to increase that lift. It's a little bit less common, but it really does depend on the lifter and their mentality going into the lifts.
Right. And one thing I always say for new lifters out there that are interested in getting to this sport and think a minute is not a long time, 1 minute to get your squat is plenty of time.
Absolutely.
You don't feel like you need to rush. You don't feel like you don't have a lot of time. I tell even somebody brand new, I say, take a big breath when they say bar is loaded, and then walk up to that bar.
Absolutely.
It is plenty of time to get that lift in there. There you go, Rose.
Hit a little bit of a wall, but she broke right through it.
Yes.
Rose Wong currently sitting at 16th overall.
There you
That's
go.
a good lift.
And remember, I know you see like these rankings and everything of all these lifters and everything like that, but this is a competition.
And this is nationals. This is where those rankings change.
Yes, and anything can happen. Anything can happen, and that what makes this sport exciting, because you're just saying it's like seeing a #1 pro football team playing against the number 10 or 11 football team going against each other, and then the number 10 wins, because just things happen on competition day.
Upsets happen all the time in powerlifting.
Yes.
Here's Ms. Yee Rodriguez, going to retake 150 kilos on platform 4. Ashley Tran, rocking an SBT competition tee. Looks like she's being coached and handled by Mr. Carrington Amati, primetime powerlifter on day 4.
Right. I was corrected. It's up to 15 people per flight.
There we go.
Yes. Richard and Cole are having a great time in the chat, so it's great.
Yee Rodriguez, it moved well. I don't know that it was deep enough.
Let's see what the referee's not deep enough. So she has one more time to stay in this meet to get that attempt. So everyone out there, if you're a fan of Yee, please, please, please give her your support. We want to make sure we keep moving. Oh, my. I think that's the biggest jump I've seen yet.
Oh, okay. All right. We had to take a little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump for a second. Over on platform 4, Brittany Lee going 45 kilos to 50 kilos to 102.5 kilos. That is 42.5 kilos of a jump. That is almost 90 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. That's unheard of for some of our largest classes.
Yeah, let's see
if Brittany's able to adapt here.
Yes, Lee, let's see. She's been moving it fast.
There's no way.
Oh, my God. So what do you think made her do that? Start with a lighter weight and go up to that big of a jump?
I would imagine. I couldn't tell you, to be quite honest. I don't think I've ever seen a jump that large before.
So if in my thoughts, I'm just keeping it on my mind and keep it theoretical. Let's say maybe there was an issue in the warm-up room or issue before that she just needed numbers to stay in the meet.
Mm-hmm.
and just starting off light to make sure either she's recovering from an injury or had an issue in the past or something happened in the warm-up room, that she could have said, you know what, let's start safe. Let's make some good jumps, and then we can see how we feel on the third attempt.
Well, I think she did a great job of doing that.
Yes, she did.
I think she did an excellent job of solidifying that.
Yes. Patricia, let's see what she... Patria. And doing 125. Let's see what the referees say. 3 white lights. Still good lift, so she's good. Laura Harriman attempting 155 kgs. Let's watch Lauren. Come on.
Beautiful.
That's great. Good job, Lauren. 3 white lights for Laura Harriman.
Here's Christina Lynn. Bars loaded for her on platform 4. Even 5 kilo jumps across the board. 122, 127, 132. Let's see what she's got. 132, that's 292.11 big ones.
Imperial units, if I say.
Imperial, that's right. Getting that bar fixed up there for Carissa on platform 3.
Go, Christina. Oh, good catch from the spotters and loaders. Just got stuck right in that middle area, that sticking point. It's all good. She's moving on. Next lift. Maddie Werner is attempting 132, and Carissa is going to be doing 137.
Bars loaded for both lifters.
Here, I have a fun random question. What other nation uses Imperial units?
What other nation uses or doesn't use it?
No, use the Imperial system. I forgot the name, but there's another nation besides U.S. that uses the Imperial units.
Huh.
Because every other place uses metric.
That's true.
Yeah. That's why we have, I think that's the majority of the reason why we have metric units for the USA. Yeah. So everyone knows.
That's a good lift there for Carissa on 3. Up next, Miss Laura Sue. 308 pounds.
And then we got Sarah attempting 132.5. That's another 292.11. Rocking the full SBD. Sarah, good. Let's go. Grind. Come on. Oh, man. I'm curious to see what the referees say. Let's see what they say. Let's give it, not low enough for Sarah. It's all good. We still got to keep it moving. Rachel Showers up next. Laura, good attempt. Good catch from the spotters and loaders. Did not complete that lift.
Here's Rachel Showers showering us with all of her strength, going up 10 kilos all the way through. And we are on, like I said, ladies and gents, if you're following along, we're on 3rd attempts on both flights here now. So just a few more lifters left, and then we move on to Flight C on both of those platforms.
Yes, and that's when men are going to be stepping up to the platform on Flight C.
What
there you go,
grind.
Rachel. She's happy with that. Let's see what the referees say. That's a 20 kilos. 3 white lights for her. Great job. Great job for Rachel Showers. 20 keys difference from her opening attempt. That's crazy. Carrying the win. There you go. Very smooth. I would be happy with that 3rd attempt.
Absolutely, and that's one of those. So we saw she went from 140 to 142.5.
Right.
That's not uncommon, right? Let's say you're not the happiest with how that 2nd attempt looked, and you want to go out for your 3rd.
Right.
You don't want to scratch that attempt, but you want to get as much as you can on that total.
Right.
2.5 kilos is just enough to where
Marcel,
it might
come
feel
on.
the same.
Yes. All right. Yes. Again, you want to build up your points. You want to build up your total ever so slightly. So that means you can still get a little bit higher. So when you're looking at that subtotal at the before you hit deadlifts, it gives you a better idea how you can rank yourself and what jumps you can do for your deadlift. Tara Thomas, let's go. A great attempt from her. Let's see. We'll see. She'll be back for benches. We'll see how it goes. Ariane, reattempting 142. That's 314.16. It's close enough to say 315.
A 3-plate date for those of you in commercial gyms.
Yes. Let's see how it goes. Good. That looks good.
I'd say that was solid on depth from our angle. Again, we only have the camera angle.
Yes. And yeah, I was looking at the head referee. He was looking at it too. So head referee says it wasn't there, but it's all good. Two other referees said had a great time.
Jen Averill on platform 3, 10 kilos from 135. So this is 319 pounds. Another 3-plate date with some extra credit. Very clean, very positive about that squat. And now when you're looking at a third attempt squat and it moves like that, it moves at, it looks like she could have 2 or 3 more left in the tank. That's what we want. You know, if you can hit a top end squat and it move like that, you've saved so much energy going into the bench and consequently the deadlifts.
Because you got to think about it. Training days are different from competition days. So you want to make sure that you get yourself prepared. If you need to save a little bit of energy, if you need to take a little bit more conservative on your lifts, so that you can be able to push harder on your best lift or other lifts that you can build up on.
That's right. Here's Rose on platform 3, looking to do the exact same. Now, we did do like a small jump, so 147.5 to 150. That second attempt was a little bit tougher. Rose, unfortunately, not able to get that 330.
Right.
And that's another one of those things where, if that second attempt moves slow, if you go up 2.5 kilos, it's probably going to move just as slow, if not a little bit harder.
Right.
And so that's that constant balance that our lifters are having to go for.
We got Yee Rodriguez, so if you're a fan for her, please give her all your energy because she needs to hit this attempt so she can continue staying in the meet. So let's see. Let's give it for her. This is 330 pounds for her. Let's go. Come on. Oh, good fight.
I don't know that that's going to go. I saw a little bit of up and downward motion.
Yeah.
As did our referees.
Yes.
And so what happened there, Suraj? So it looked like, unfortunately, Yee was not able to get any of her squat attempts. So what does that look like for her down the line?
So, unfortunately, she is out of the meet. As what the term people use is bomb out. But she could still finish the meet and complete the meet if she wants to. It is up to her and is up to the lifter. But we would love to see her to finish the meet and continue doing it.
One thing I tell my lifters kind of along those same lines is like you prep for a whole meet.
Yeah.
Right. You're 3-4 months of squat, bench, and deadlift.
Right.
If squat doesn't go well, I wouldn't want to throw away a whole prep.
Yes.
Right. I've still got bench. I've still got deadlifts.
Go.
I can still add those to my database.
Right. And look, that's still going to be fine. You keep moving forward. And you know what's funny? One of my lifters in the past, she unfortunately did bomb out for squats, but she felt more relaxed for the rest of the meet because she could push herself harder on the bench and deadlift because I think she was just less stressed. But she was also a newer lifter and everything like that.
Right.
And she actually PR'd on both bench and deadlift because she felt more relaxed after that meet. It sucked,
right.
but like she just looked at it a different light.
And I mean, at the end of the day, like you were saying, like it's if you're not doing this to have fun,
right?
Like, why are you doing it?
Right.
Obviously, competition, and there's all of those aspects as well. But if you don't find joy and you don't find happiness from that competition,
right?
And you're so serious all the time. If you don't make your squats, the whole world is ending. No. Have fun.
And
and you've got a whole rest of the meet. We're in beautiful Salt Lake City. There's so much to do, so much awesome powerlifting to watch. Just have fun.
Yes. Hey, and I know a lot of people don't like this saying, but I always say it whenever something happens unfortunate at a meet, there's always another one.
Listen, there will be so many more meets. There's a meet every weekend in powerlifting. You will find another.
Yes, I think we're on platform 4. We're on flight C already. Shreyas Pani from Georgia Tech. I don't know if there's any Georgia Tech fans out there. If you guys want to comment on the stream, I'm helping you guys out. They're a great bunch of people. I love these guys to death. And let's see what Shreyas says to do today.
We've got Georgia showing out on both platforms.
Oh my God, Laura Harriman.
Looking to take 160 kilos, 5 kilos up from her second attempt. You've got Team Fueled and Georgia Tech Barbell both represented well on the platform today. Here's Shreyas for his opening attempt on 4.
There you go, Shreyas. Oh, beautiful opener. Let's go, Lauren. Come on.
And depth never really an issue for Shreyas. He's a very deep squatter in general.
Come on, Lauren. Let's go. Push. That was a good push. I'm curious to see what the referees say.
3 white lights.
White lights. That's good. That's good. That's a good thing for Lauren. Keep moving. That was great work.
And when you get all 3 of your squat attempts, that's so much momentum.
Oh, yeah.
So much momentum going into the bench and the deadlift where, and for those of you watching at home, the bench is going to be a little bit less,
less stress.
Less stressful, but it is, and it's not as much, not as much, like I said, not as much stress going around into the bench, and so
unless you're a bench specialist.
Unless you're a bench specialist, and so the overall tone of the meet's going to go down just a little bit. But if you have all 3 of your squats behind you, throw that away. I mean, you're going strong into bench presses, and that's just going to continue on to the deadlift.
Here's my question to you: what's your post-squat snack after you do on your end platform?
I'm a really bad person to ask. I don't eat during meets. I'm really bad at it. I try my hardest. It's for me, it's if I can knock down a protein shake real quick, and if I can get some gummy bears in me. Maybe a Pop-Tart or 2, that'll help so much with just keeping me up through the day.
Just so you know, I brought most of the snacks, and I'm feeding Nick right now.
Yes, for those of you at home, Siraj is feeding me.
I gave him a protein bar, some pretzels, some jerky, to make sure that he could give the energy.
That's right.
All right, Noah Garcia, good attempt, 2 white lights, and we got Brian Wynn as well, 150 kgs. We're at the gentleman's side. We're moving.
That's right. And this is our last flight, ladies and gents. So if you're watching at home, flight C is going to be the last flight of squat. So after all of our lifters on both platforms have taken their attempts, we will be taking a 10-minute break, just so our spotters and loaders can get just a couple seconds of a break. We can get the platform set up for bench press, give our referees a bottle of water, and then we're just going to keep the train rolling. Here's Sean O, platform 3. 341 pounds, and then Mr. Venson Pham, Team 3 lifter, platform 4.
So Team 3 is 18 and 19 years old.
And it's interesting to think about when I was 18, 19 years old, that's when I started powerlifting.
Really?
That was when I started a little bit earlier, but my first competition was as a Team 3.
Really?
And I was nowhere close to this level. So the fact that they're at the national stage, at as young as they are, is just testament to their strength, discipline, and the knowledge and the relationship of their coaches as well.
Right. I think I started in my mid-20s, started really focusing on powerlifting. Is when I really started focusing. I mean, I wish I started powerlifting at this time, but when I was like 18, 19, I was playing rugby at Georgia State at the time.
I was way too focused on my meal plan money and trying to keep that up in college. So I was just in the gym, for general fitness, and I saw powerlifting. I saw a very strong dude just repping out 600. I was like, I want to do that. And here we are.
I saw a guy, he was training at my old gym, and he got me into powerlifting. He was like in his 60s, and he was pulling like 600 for reps. And I was like, what do you do? Powerlifting. All right, look, John Tran's got to hit this squat command. So he got the squat command. So
with
still
1 second remaining.
Still good attempt, so he should be fine. So let's see what the referees say. Yes, he's good. So yes, you have to, if you get it before the timer's up for that squat command, you should be good to go.
Here's Mr. RJ on platform 3. And then Mr. Lazaro James on platform 4. He's going to go 374. RJ is going to go 369. Looks like RJ is coached by Yukio Powerlifting out of Hawaii. Lazaro James rocking all SBD, all everything on platform 4.
Let's say RJ.
Moved well. Was it deep enough for the judges?
All right. Lazaro, let's see what you got. Good depth. Lazaro, let's see what you got.
Clear lift on both platforms.
Looking good. So here's a question. How many spotters are allowed on the platform?
Depends on the squat.
Oh, yeah?
Depends on the squat. So, for those of you watching at home right now, there are 3 spotters on the platform. There's like a second spotter to adjust the platform and all that, but there are 3 spotters on the platform. Once the bar weight hits over 500 pounds, or 4 reds, ideally, we got to have 5 spotters.
Right.
So there's 2 more spotters on the side there, and that's just extra protection for our lifters.
Right. Because any time when you go over 500 pounds, you want to have that little extra protection.
Gabe Arroyo.
I think it's from Georgia.
I think is that a FSS shirt? It is. Oh, wow. Matt Fodrell.
Oh, really? Yeah. So Gabe, I think, is from Georgia. Let me double check.
Up next on platform 3, Billy Morales. 385 pounds. Electing to have the uprights of the bar in. Again, folks, that is all personal preference. And we're already cruising and bruising on platform 4. We're already on second attempts. Mr. David Miller, Masters 2 lifter, between the ages of 50 and 59. Going to be taking 231 pounds. Clock is ticking for Billy. Here he is, making his way up to the platform now. Plenty of time left to be able to get that walkout and to get that start command.
Oh, yeah. Gabe used to be from Georgia. That's why I recognize him. He knows a lot of the guys at the gym. I was like, I've known that name before.
Good lift, 2-1 for David. Billy Morales looked like he was a little bit rushed there. It was a good lift, but it looked a little bit tougher than you would ideally like to see for an opener. Like we were saying, like you want your openers to be something you know you can hit. I try to tell my lifters, you know, if you can hit it for 3 on a bad day, that's a solid opener. That's a good, safe opener.
Yeah.
And it looked, from my perspective, it did look a little bit tougher for Billy. However, he did have a little bit of tough time getting out for that opening attempt. So it could just be the timing.
Right.
But he's got that first one down.
Right.
He's able to relax. He's able to breathe. We'll see if he's able to make the next one. Next ones move a little bit better.
Just to correct myself, I don't think Gabe is from Georgia. I think I've seen him compete so many times because I remember him from high school nationals because we shared a warm-up rack with him or anything like that, so that's why I remember him.
Gotcha.
I was like, oh, I know him from somewhere. All right, Dennis Woolley. So you see how he had a little misstep. That's okay because he did not get the squat command, so that's fine.
There we go, and he does get that squat command with about 10 seconds left on the clock.
I wonder if he got that rack command, or it might have been a little too early.
He did.
Right, did. Yeah, perfect. All right, Shreyas is back. 10-kilo jump. Let's see what you got.
Beautiful squat there from Shreyas. Again, one of our deeper squatters, so depth won't be an issue here. It's just a matter of how well he can make it move.
Yep.
Tyler Dunn on platform 3. Our first 400-pound squat of the day, ladies and gents. 407 pounds for the 60-kilo lifter.
There you go.
This is well over 2.5 times body weight.
Oh, yeah. We got guys going to be doing double, 3 times, maybe even 4 times their body weight. And that's crazy to think.
Here's Noah Garcia on 4.
I can't even imagine doing 3 times more of my body weight right now for a squat.
3 times body weight for anybody that's over 100 kilos is really, really hard.
What are you saying? Aren't you the squat specialist? You should be fine.
The highest I've ever gotten is like 2.7 times body weight. I don't know that I can do anything over 3.
No, I don't think either. I don't think I can do it either. I'm coasting between 110 to 125 right now.
Here's Chris Persons.
John Tran on platform 4 is coming up next. Let's see Chris Persons.
And Chris lifting as a guest lifter.
So what that means, guys, either he did not make weight or did not show up in time for weigh-ins.
Here's John Tran. We're well into second attempts on both platforms, ladies and germs. John Tran going up 7.5 kilos, so about 15 pounds to 391.
Let's go, John.
That was one of the cleanest second attempts we've seen thus far.
That was very smooth. Again, I want to give a shout out to A7 and TSS for putting on and supporting this meet. Again, big promotion from A7, and thank you for TSS for all the great equipment.
Absolutely. TSS providing our platform equipment as well.
Yeah.
All of our beautiful warm-up equipment behind the curtain here.
We actually use TSS for the state meet as well.
I mean, they make phenomenal equipment. I want to say between TSS and the ER racks, those are kind of the standard that we're seeing nowadays, especially in USA powerlifting.
Right. Wes Zuckner is a great guy, by the way. If you haven't met him, you should definitely talk to him.
State chair of Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and the owner of TSS.
And oh yeah.
He actually, for the state meet, drove to my gym to give us the racks and the safeties for our rack. And that's
hand-delivered service, ladies and gents. Look no further than Texas Strength Systems and Wesley Zunker.
All right, Sean O is up next at 162.5 on platform 3. Let's see how he's going to move this weight. And then we got Lazaro James attempting 180 on platform 4. Wow, Sean moved that quick. And he's weighing in at 60 kilos, and he's doing 3 times. What's 60 times 3? 180.
At least 180.
At least 180 kilos.
If my very, very poor algebra is correct. Here's Lazaro James. 10 kilos jump to 180, so now we're at 396 pounds.
Good depth. I love the depth. Let's see what the referees say. 3 white lights. And I think we got the heaviest squat, Gabe, doing team 3 at 192.5 kilos.
424 pounds, ladies and germs.
He's 18, 19 years old. Attempting the heaviest squat for platform 4.
Here's John on 3. Very wide stance, a little bit more of that bent over type squat, a little bit lower of the bar. Let's see what the judges say. 2-to-1, no lift on depth there. And like we were saying, when you have a more bent over, or I guess a more hinged squat, you could say, it's a lot harder to hit that depth because your hips are already at that negative disadvantaged angle. And it's again, all lifter preference.
Yes.
Maybe that's just how he squats.
Yeah. Because, again, if you looked at through this whole meet, you could see the variety of different stances, the variety of different positionings that people do for their squats, all right? And again, at the end of the day, that's the whole point of competition. It's not everyone doing the same squat. We are looking at the same. We're looking for 3 main things. It's like hitting depth, following commands, and that you just don't move too much.
That's right. If everyone squatted the same, this wouldn't be fun. Here's Min Win, also taking 396 pounds.
And we are on final attempts for platform 4 on flight C.
Well, looks like platform 4 is going a little bit of ahead of us here.
Yeah, you guys have like 2 or 3 more lifters than our guys over here. I like how yours has spacing so you can see the difference. That's fine.
Here's David Miller.
Let's go, David. Masters
242 pounds.
All right. Good grind. Let's see what the referees say. I'm curious to see what they say about depth.
3 white lights, folks.
That's good.
Like we said, just building that momentum, building the total as much as you can, and going into bench and deadlifts, that puts you in a really, really good position.
Yes.
Up next is Levi on platform 4. Team 3 lifters, so 18, 19 years old, going to retake 308 pounds here.
All right, Levi, let's see what you got.
Rocking the SBD Momentum Collection. Just dropped this year.
Yes. So one thing I'm seeing, and I'm pretty sure you guys a lot seeing, is, good catch.
Just not going to go.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say one of the rules. So we have a referee that's called the TC at the platform. That's right before you're going to step on the platform to make sure that you're in line, that they call your name, that you're there. They're also checking how your attire is. So they're going to make sure that your singlet and your knee sleeves are not touching, your socks and your knee sleeves are not touching, and that everything is the right form. So make sure you follow those rules as well to make sure that that you're not getting stopped or losing your momentum.
That's right. Yeah. Because the last thing you want is to go out on the platform, have a good lift, and then see all reds because of a wardrobe malfunction.
Exactly.
Right? And again, further lending to get involved,
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen. Get involved. get involved with USA Powerlifting. Try and do a meet. You know, check it out, see what it's like. Volunteer, maybe referee every now and then.
All right, Shrez, last squad, 150 kilos. Let's see what you got, man. Let's go, let's go. Good dip. Come on. Come on. There you go. Let's see what the referee say. I'm pretty sure he should be happy with that. Yeah, 3 white lights.
Up next, Mr. Billy Morales. Now, he did have a little bit of a tougher opener there, but we're going up to 413 pounds, folks, for that second attempt. That's 12.5 kilo jumps. We'll see what he's got. Here's Billy. It's not going to go, ladies and gents. Not going to go. So when you're in a spot like this, right, let's say you missed your second attempt here, you can't lower the weight.
No.
Right? You can't lower the weight that you've already put on the bar. You can't adjust the order or anything like that. And so that puts Billy in an interesting position, right? He does have his opener, so he's on the board.
Right.
He has not bombed out of the meet thus far.
Yes.
But having taken such a big jump and not being able to get it,
right,
that puts him at risk of only having that opener for the total.
Right.
And from the coaching perspective,
let's go. Good attempt.
From the coaching perspective, how do you adjust that from bench and deads?
Right. Do you change your opener? Do you start off lighter? Do you start off heavier? What are you doing? Like, how are you going to make sure that you can make up for it? And, because the thing is like, if you're going in there, and also, one thing I always ask my lifters is, what is your goal?
Absolutely. What do you want to do?
Like, are you looking to get a total? Are you looking to podium? Are you looking to have fun? Are you looking to PR lifts? Like, what are you doing and how we can adjust it for your meet? I mean, I'm pretty sure you do this before you go to a meet. You always want to have you always have a meeting with your lifter before you go onto the platform. Like a week before, day before, something like that, so you guys can plan out well. Dennis doing a great job for his second attempt.
Here's John Tran on 4, excuse me. And we're now into the 400 pound mark. John Tran going 402 pounds. Bars loaded now for Tyler Dunn on platform 3. John Tran, very smooth second attempt on technique. Same type beat for third attempts there. That's going to be a good lift, 3 white lights.
Awesome.
Here's Tyler Dunn.
We got 3 more lifters until platform 4 is done. We got Lazaro, Vincent, and Gabe. And you are and after this lift, you are going to be starting the last attempts for your flight 3. Flight C, yeah. Lazaro, junior, 60 kgs. Remember, junior is, 20 to 23?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Getting that bar loaded for Brian Wynn. So now we're on third attempts on platform 3. So we're probably about 6-7 lifters behind. So about 6 to 7 minutes. Honestly, not that bad. Not that bad. Means our platforms are running smoothly and efficiently.
Yes, very smooth. I think everything's very, very great. Thank you again to all the spotters and loaders and referees and volunteers that are helping out here. It takes a lot of work to put up these meets. And
oh my gosh, if you've never spotted and loaded a meet before at home, ladies and gents, I would highly, highly, highly recommend doing so. 1, the sport always needs spotters.
Yes.
But 2, it's the easiest way for you to kind of understand the other side, right? You might not be a powerlifter. That might not be your thing. But you also get to understand what happens and what takes place in order for a meet like this to happen, right?
Correct.
You are unracking the weights and putting them back on. You're adjusting those rack heights. You're lifting the lifters off on the bench.
Yeah.
And it's hard work.
Yeah.
Spotting and loading is hard work.
One thing is, as much as I love commentating and announcing and everything like that, I would love spotting and loading. 1, it makes my day go by so much faster because you're just moving. And you get a good workout. You get a free workout at the end of it.
That's right.
Vincent Pham had a great third attempt, a good grind, 3 white lights.
Same with Sean O. 3 white lights.
Beautiful. Gabe, 200 kilos.
Oh, we're up to 440, folks.
440 pounds. 0.92 to be exact. But 440 pounds for Gabe at 18 to 19 years old, weighing in at 60 kilos. That's over 3 times his body weight. So everyone, let's go focus on Gabe. We also have Christopher Persons on platform 3. All right, Gabe. Let's get it going. You got it, Gabe. Taking his time, making sure his feet is nice and settled. Christopher Pearson, let's see how he does the squat. Gabe, let's go. Oh, yes. Both lifters had a great squat. Let's see what the referees say.
Good lifts across the board.
3 white lights for both Christopher and Gabe. Now, platform 4 is setting up for the bench press. You see, we got to put the safeties in. We got to make sure all the rack is nice and set up. They're going to move the bar down to the second setting for the bench. Make sure everything is all set up. They're preloaded for the bar. And just so you know, when the referee calls bar is loaded, that's when the 10-minute timer starts for this platform.
That's right. Look no further, folks. We've still got a ton of action going on platform 3.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, first of all, we want to give a big shout out to the Barbell Productions team and all of the technical team for USA Powerlifting. Jan Dario, Bryce Lewis, Kevin Pham of Barbell Productions, Travis Napier, a whole bunch of folks are behind the scenes here putting this spectacle together for you at home.
Right.
And first of all, I want to give a big shout out to them for all of their hard work, but we also want to take a gander at the split screen action we've got here.
I know.
You all at home are seeing 2 platforms at once, which is awesome.
Yes. Because usually they do 1 platform for each monitor, but I like this split screen kind of thing. I think it looks great. They're doing a great time. Next thing you know, they're going to be like having 15 different camera angles for us. Flipping camera angles.
Well, for those of you that were watching Youth Bench and Equip Nationals, that was kind of our test bed for our primetime sessions later on today.
Right.
So we're going to see some pretty nice angles. We're going to see some nice angles, some good post-lift interviews.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of stuff that the productions team has in store for primetime. So y'all want to be sure you tune in later on today.
Did you already see the primetime platform already?
It's nice.
It's looking magnificent.
Here's Mr. RJ. Now, RJ did time out that second attempt. It looks like he's going to time out this attempt as well.
He's still in the meet. He's probably just needing the recovery, so he probably just needs a little bit of rest, which understandable. Also good for the lifter because you get a little bit more extra rest for the next lifter. Alrighty. I wonder if they started the 10-minute timer. Yes, on platform 4, they just started the 10-minute timer. That means they called bar as loaded. So it should be good to go. And I think platform 1 and 2 should be wrapping up as well. So it should be good to go.
Here's Min Win. Bars loaded for Min as well. This is 407 pounds. All right, here he comes.
All right, man, let's see what you got. Getting nice and settled underneath that bar.
This is 407 pounds, ladies and gents, for Min Win.
There you go, Min. Good depth. He's happy with that. Let's see what the referees say. 3 white lights.
Good lift. And we've only got 3 lifters left, ladies and gents, before we hit our 10-minute break on platform 3. Bars loaded now for Mr. Billy Morales. Now, Billy, like we were talking about, had that little bit of a tougher opener, went for a pretty sizable jump going into that second, 12.5 kilos.
Right.
Missed it pretty much, looked like on strength at the bottom there. He can't go down in white, so he has to retake this.
Right.
I wonder what the conversation was between he and his coach going into this attempt here, in order to change the mindset, because we've seen miracles happen.
Right.
We've seen people have complete misses and come back and absolutely body their third attempts.
Right.
And it really is, it's the beauty of powerlifting, number one, but it's the showcase of the tenacity and the discipline that these lifters have in order to come back from that.
Right. And let's see, we can see the focus on him. Let's see what he's got.
Come on, Billy. And that won't do, unfortunately. So Billy, like we said, is on the board with 175, but only that. On a more positive note,
right,
he did save a whole lot of strength for bench and a whole lot of strength for deadlift.
Yes, he did.
So the fact that we're here, we're in the meet, we've got our squat, and we can save some more for the total, puts us still in a pretty good position.
Correct.
Up next is Mr. Dennis Worley Jr., 418 pounds.
He's getting ready, getting psyched up because he did push hard on that second attempt. So I'm very curious. You see,
that's only 2.5 kilo jump. Yeah,
5 kilo jump, 2.5 kilo jump. Let's see what he's got. Now, is there ever a time where you just said, you know what, we're just not going to take that third attempt for any of your lifters?
Once.
Once.
And I am one of those people that I think people should scratch their lifts more often.
Okay.
Me personally.
Okay.
Because if you're going into a second attempt, right, and especially at this level, you get the regional, national level lifters. If you hit a second attempt
there you go, Dennis.
you know
right.
that getting anything more than that is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Why even go out for that third when you could save that extra 2.5 on bench and deads?
Because you got to think about it. It's all about volume training at the end of the day.
Exactly.
It's like how much are you, if you're tracking your volume, if you're tracking your weights, you're tracking all that stuff, you're like, you know what, we're push this volume. We can save this volume for my lifts later down the line. I would rather do that. I think Tyler Dunn's got the heaviest squat, 202.
446. So he even he does have the heaviest squat, beat out Gabe Arroyo by just 2.5 kilos.
Correct.
And they are in the same weight class as well, both the 60 kilo classes. So we'll see Tyler Dunn with this attempt here.
But Gabe, it is Team 3, and Tyler is in open.
There you go.
Yep. Both very impressive from both lifters. But again, you got to look at that age as well. All right, let's see Tyler. Oh, beautiful depth.
Textbook. Textbook.
That was good. That was a perfect third attempt. I'll be happy with that. He should be happy with that. His coach should be happy with that. I'm pretty sure he's got 3 white lights. I know what's taking. There you go, 3 white lights.
And folks, that's going to take us to the end of our action of platforms 3 and 4 for the squat.
Yep.
So like we said, platform 4, is already set up. So we're still going that break there. Platform 3, we're going to get it set up. We'll be back in 10 short minutes.
All right, sounds good.
Had to. Are you joining it too? Hell yeah. Welcome back, ladies and germs, to the 2024 USA Powerlifting Raw National Championships. We're back for the bench press action. My co-commentator, Suraj Saeed, just had to run to the latrine real fast, but now we are locked into the bench press. Starting off on platform 4, Miss Leticia DeSantis with 65 kilos. And folks, we're already about 5 or 6 lifters deep into the first flight on platform 4. Heidi, Lynn Marie, Emily, and Julia May all got their opening attempts at 40, 50, and 55 kilos, respectively. Coming up next is Miss Heather Foss, State Chair of South Carolina. In the Masters 1, she's going to be taking 70 kilos for her opening bench. And if you're waiting for the action to start up again on platform 3, we still got another about minute and a half before that bar is called loaded.
Ooh, Heather Foss is back. Attempted 70 kilos. There you go. Now I have a question for you.
I love questions.
You love
I might
questions?
have answers.
All right. So why is there a red for bench press? What is the rule?
You thought you could trick me, but you couldn't.
No, yeah. But why did we instate it?
Oh, you thought you could trick me, but you can't do it.
All right.
So, ladies and gents, just like, and before we get into that just a little bit, same thing as the squat, right?
Yes.
There are going to be standards. There's going to be red lights, and there's red, yellows, and blues.
Right.
So different standards, different infractions that our lifters could have. And to start off, like we said, with squat, a red would be depth.
Correct.
Right? In kind of a similar way, it's the same thing for bench, except it's not the same. But
no.
That rule is if the bar doesn't come into full contact with your chest, on the press. And that actually came about due to equipped powerlifting.
Correct.
And for those of you at home, equipped powerlifting just involves the use of a bench shirt, so it's an assistive kind of canvas material.
And that thing is tight.
It is very tight, and it's hard for lifters sometimes to get the bar to the chest.
Correct.
We don't see that too often in raw powerlifting. However, the rule is the same across both divisions. And so it will be a red if the lifter kind of hovers the bar over their chest. If it's a red-blue, similarly with squat, if there's any up and downward motion, if there's what we call a soft lockout, so if the elbows aren't completely locked out at the top of the press.
Right.
And then yellow is going to be our catch-all. Same thing with squat. So if the heels come up, if the feet move, if the butt comes up, less common if the shoulders come up, if you miss a command.
Right. One thing I learned for the feet is your feet is okay to slide. It just cannot come up.
Absolutely.
So your feet can slide on the bench press. It just cannot come off. That means your heel, your toe, nothing can come off the ground. So, and the thing is, the 3 points of contact is your feet, your butt, and your shoulders. As long as those continuously touch the ground, touch the bench or ground, you're all set and ready to go. But your head is allowed to come up, which I think they changed that rule like the past year and a half or something like that. So your head's allowed to come up. But other than that, you can keep your butt, shoulders, and feet down on there. You're good to go. I think we got a little delay, but it should be fine. We'll get that fixed up.
Folks, if you're tuning in, we'll be right back. We're just going to get this stream locked up for you. Hold on real quick. Doesn't Primetime start soon? And folks, while we're still getting that screen set up here, we are going to still give you the LiftingCast view because that is still looking to be active. So right now on platform 1, we've got Melissa. She's going to be taking, platform 3. Goodness gracious. Melissa is going to be taking 143 for her opening bench.
And then we got Heidi attempting 45 kilos on her second attempt bench.
Oh, we're already on second attempts on platform 4.
Yeah.
We're just cruising and bruising, ladies and gents.
We are flying. So everything should be fine. I don't know what you guys seeing. I think a little frozen on our side, but you can check on LiftingCast. So Heidi got a good lift, 2 out of 3, and then Lynn is going to be up next attempting 55 kgs, which is 121 pounds.
That was a 2-to-1 good lift for Melissa, and and obviously we can't really see what you were seeing, which isn't, it's skipping out just a little bit, but for that yellow light, it's very possible that if you see it from a side referee, it's very possible that the butt came up.
Right.
It's almost 9 up, or the feet shifted up just a little bit.
Correct. Test, test, test.
Here we go. We can go a little bit louder. There we go.
There you go.
Perfecto.
Are we here? Oh, I'm on flight B.
All right,
We
ladies
are
and gentlemen, we're
live.
back. Hello, welcome back.
We disappeared and came back.
Had some technical difficulties there, and listen, it's day one of Nationals, so
Yeah.
it's almost expected, ladies and gents. But we're here, we're back, we're alive. We are on the bench presses for Flight A. Third attempt bench presses for Flight A on platform 3, and then we're on
Second to last first attempts. So we're almost through the first attempts of Flight B.
There we go.
I got there.
There we go. We made it.
I made it. Rachel Showers is back. First attempt, 77.5 kilos. And then Claudia Romero, 55 kilos. And good push. Rachel Showers, no wrist straps.
No wraps, no belt, no problem.
Easy.
No red lights. Good job there for Rachel Showers. And like we said, folks, we are on the bench press action here. So similarly to the squat, all of our lifters are going to go. So we're going to, obviously, we're at the first flight here on 3, second flight on 4. So all the lifters in that flight will take their opening attempts, then go back to the top of the order for seconds, last attempts, and then the next flight will go. We do have 3 flights of powerlifting, and each flight is between about 10 to 14 lifters. So we can imagine that the bench pressing will take about an hour or so, give or take.
Yes. So why bench pressing takes a little bit longer, they're adjusting multiple things. They're adjusting the rack. They're adjusting the safeties. And depending on how big the meet is, it could be like going up and down a lot of weight, especially with the lighter weight classes, especially for women. It's like those small change plates you got to add on, add off, put on, put off. So it's like it goes a little slower, but that's fine.
Right. We've got Miss Ava Allen, Itsy Bitsy Ava on platform 3, taking her last attempt at 70 kilos.
Uh-oh, Marcella just had to step off the podium. She shook her head. I don't think she was feeling well. Let's see if she comes back. Uh-oh.
Here she is.
There you go. Oh, it was the wrong person.
That happens.
It happens. It's especially in like these times like these. You're like, oh, I'm excited. I need to put me out there. Put me on, coach.
And it's the same weight, so it's very possible, that lifter just saw the weight on the bar and was like, hey,
Yeah.
that's me. But
Yeah.
it happens.
Well, also sometimes their order and their flight might change. So she might have opted for her flight.
There we go, yeah.
And then she thought she would be the first one, but maybe she didn't. So talk to me about lot numbers. If you put the same weight, who's going to go first? A person with a higher lot number or with a lower lot number?
The lower lot number.
Good.
Lower lot number always goes first. And what is a lot number for the folks at home?
So it's a random number that is randomly assigned to you for your session or for your session. So Flight A has a lot number between 100 to whatever number. Flight B, 200 to whatever 200 number. And Flight C, 300 to 300 whatever number. It's just a random sort of number. There's no distinct it doesn't matter if your first name, last name, you're lighter or lower. It's just a random number that you're going to get to know where you are to keep it fair. Right. Now, if you're looking at Marcella and Brittany Lee, even though they had the same attempt, even with Kristen, Marcella had the smallest lot number. And then Brittany had the second smallest, and then Kristen had the highest lot number out of those 3 lifters that had the same weight. So, since Marcella had the lightest lot number, and they had all three same openers, the person with the smallest lot number, which is Marcella, had to go first. And that's why she went first. So that's one thing you also have to keep in mind, especially when we get to the deadlifts, where your lot numbers are and where you're positioning on the platform.
And then when we talk about scoring and placing and all this stuff, when would you factor in body weight?
Body weight, it would be in, so let's say even though you have a different lot number and you total the same weight and you are totaled, it's usually the person with the smallest body weight would win. Because if you have a lighter body weight, like let's say we use Marcella, Brittany, and Kristen, who all hit 65 kgs on their bench press, technically Marcella is the lightest one out of them all. So if they had all the same total, Marcelo would have be number 1.
And that's the difference that we're seeing, folks, versus placement in the flight versus placement on the podium.
Correct.
Very big difference there, ladies and gents. And there's a lot of nuance with powerlifting. It makes it fun. It makes it interesting. It adds all these extra levels of competition. And it's not simply just going out to the platform, putting a weight on the bar and hitting it. There's so much more behind the scenes that's going on. A lot of calculations, a lot of comparisons, a lot of projections and predictions. And it makes the sport fun. It makes it
competitive.
There we go. Yeah, that was about the word I was looking for.
That was the word. Because the thing is, you're not just looking at weight that you're putting on the bar.
Right.
On the bar, you're looking at when you're hitting it, when you're doing it. So let's say, for example, what if they had the same total and weighed the same body weight? Who would win on the podium?
Whoever has the lighter lot number.
Whoever hit it first.
Oh, that's right. That's right. See,
which is usually the person with the lightest lot number.
Right.
So when you're going on those national boards and you're on third attempt deadlifts and you guys have the same total, you weigh exactly the same. That's why we always go to point the hundredth out. That's when you're like, all right, who's going to hit that weight first?
And it happens more often than you think.
Yeah.
And when we get into sports where body weight and weight on the bar is crucial, it can mean the difference between 2 to 3 dots points. It can mean the difference between $5,000 and $1,000.
Exactly.
And it just adds all these levels of competition, and it makes it so interesting for the sport.
Hell, like in past competitions, a person can win by 0.5 kilos.
Yep.
And that's it. Or they could have won because they were 0.1 lighter. It's crazy. And that's what makes the sport intense. But also have fun.
That's right. We've got Leia on platform platform 3. She's going to be taking 80 kilos. Now, Leah already with a Teen 2 world record squat under her belt. And she was 3 for 3 on squat, so looking to continue the train and extend that to 6 for 6. That's 80 kilos. That's 176 pounds. And we've got Caitlin Slovak going 80 kilos, 176 pounds on platform 4.
Not there. So usually what you see in a lot of third attempt benches is like, bench is such a fine margin of error. Like you're gonna hit it or you're not.
Exactly. And it's statistically, third attempt benches are the most commonly missed lift across all 9 lifts.
Hell yeah.
And that's kind of where we get into the competition aspect, where it's a matter of 2.5 kilos, and especially if you're going for an American record or a world record, even less than that, 0.5, 0.1. And oftentimes, and for those of you training at home, if you're benching and you add 5 kilos to that bench and it doesn't move, that can happen just as easily on the platform.
Right.
Here's Sarah Crusilla, 80 kilos, very easy second attempt there.
Nice.
Just as well for Marta on platform 3. White lights for both ladies.
All right, on platform 3, you see we got blocks coming out. So for bench, you're allowed to have blocks on the bench press. So that gives you, just to give you a little different foot positioning or get a little bit more press down on the ball, pushing down on the ground, you still have full contact with the ground. So that makes it a little bit easier for people who tend to have like a little difference of height.
Do you know how many different height boxes there are? At this point, it's just me and Suraj quizzing ourselves. So do you know how many different heights there are for the box?
And then I can ask you, what is the highest box you're allowed on there?
Is it 15 inch? 15?
It's
something.
It's like, I know. For some reason, somebody told me you're allowed to go up to like 30 centimeters or something like that. Because it's not in inches, it's 30 centimeters.
That's right, because metrics.
Yes, metrics. For some reason.
And we see the spotters there propping their foot up against that box because it's smooth wood up against the carpet, so it does slide, which would then kind of defeat the purpose of that. Right. So we do have spotters there to kind of prop that up, and
we're trying to keep it fair for the lifters. We want to make sure they have full contact with the ground, and sometimes the bog may slide, so we want to make sure we get that little extra assistance for them. Well, not assistance, but like fairness of competition.
Right.
Patria Jimenez, 85 kilos.
We've got Miss Ashley Tran. We're now on to second attempts on our second flight on platform 3. 60 kilos, that's 132 pounds. Here's Miss Ashley Tran, and we're going to see, similarly with squat, you know, in terms of stance width and, you know, where that bar is placed on the back. With the bench press, we're going to see different widths of, you know, hand placement. We're going to see super high arches. We're going to see super low arches. And all of that, again, just factors into the individuality of the lifter. As long as they can still maintain, or as long as they can still hit their lift within the constraints of the meet, of the standards, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. You ready for another quiz?
Please.
How far can your hands go out on the bar?
Oh, no farther than the index finger on the smooth.
Yes.
So if you're looking at the bench, folks, on the barbell here, you can kind of see it from the camera view, but on kind of towards the ends of the barbell here,
you got 2 rings.
Yeah, you got 2 rings, one smooth, and the farthest you can go in terms of width on that is your index finger on the smooth of the ring. Not outside, it's got to be on the ring.
Yeah, as long as that ball, I kind of tell my athletes, as long as that ring is covered, if you're a super wide grip, you're good to go.
And you can go technically you can go as close as you want as well, as long as your hands don't touch.
Yes. Which I don't know why I would do.
It's not really intuitive for the sport. It's allowed, but you do have those lifters that are pretty close grip benchers.
That's true. I have even for my arms which are very long, I actually have a pretty narrow grip. Like my pinky is on the rings, and I got long arms, so I'm traveling like a mile just to go up and down.
All right, Megan Smith on 3, Brittany Lee on 4.
All right.
And like we were seeing here, Megan Smith on 3, pretty close grip.
Yeah.
All things considered.
And Brittany's got a very wide grip, basically just covering those grips. Again, 2 different grip styles, still all allowed in the competition, so you're good.
And they're in the same weight class as well, so further variability within the weight classes, folks.
Correct.
Coming up, Mrs. Jen Averill, 80 kilos, 176 pounds on platform 3.
And Ariane doing 75 kgs. That's a red and a collar on each side.
Jen Averill currently 3 for 3 on the way through squats, so we're looking to set the tone for bench with this opening attempt here.
They recently changed something about the bulldog grip recently, right?
So that's an interesting point of contention within powerlifting that I love talking about it. It's so fun.
Yeah.
So for those of you at home, the bulldog grip is just a way to grip the bar, right? You kind of torque the wrists inward just a little bit, allowing the bar to sit a little bit deeper in the hand.
Right.
The caveat to that is it's very easy for the thumbs to not look like they're on the bar itself. Correct. Which is not allowed.
Yes,
you have the thumb around the bar.
Correct. You can't do a suicide grip, which a lot of people know what that is, where your thumb is over under the bar, but when you have a bulldog grip, your bar is the thumb is underneath it, but it just doesn't look like it is.
Exactly, and it technically is, but you know, when we saw that last year at Raw Nationals, Sean Noriega got bopped with that a couple times from our jury, where you know he actually had to bench 5 times because some of the referees were like, no, his thumb's not covering the bar. Well, it actually was. That's just the point of the grip. Come to find out later on, they tried to adjust the ruling for that grip, and then they reversed that ruling. So now it's loud as long as, per the perception of the referee, your thumb is around the bar and your fingers are around the bar as well.
Correct.
You can have your fingertips on the bar as long as they are covering the bar. That's the big caveat there.
Correct. All right, Krissa, attempting 82.5 kilos is a good, strong opener for her. But we got Diana Sanchez, 3rd attempt, 82.5 kilos.
And we're going to see a lot smaller jumps with the bench press in terms of weight. Like we were saying earlier, I mean, all it takes is 1 kilo and it turns into a brick wall.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, and how I kind of look at bench when I have lifters in competition is like we want to just add a little bit more to the total, kind of chisel away at that total as best we can. Obviously, if a lifter has their strengths with the bench press, we're going to go a little bit further with that. But for folks where, you know, let's say it's their first, second, or third meet, or let's say they're not the best at maintaining their strength through the meet, we're just going to chisel away at that total.
Yes.
You know, take 2.5 each attempt, take 5 each attempt, see what happens. If we get it, awesome. That's more on the total. If we don't, we're not completely taxing ourselves for deadlift.
Correct. Because the thing is you're just trying to gain ground. And yes, even from attempts that you do from a bench press that you made, from let's say you had competition and a person has missed a lift, but you've already made it up for it on the bench press, that's going to help you out a lot.
Caitlin Slovak, case in point, like we said, all it takes, 2.5 kilos, that's just 5 pounds, but that's all it took for it to just not move off the chest. And that's no fault to that's no fault to Sarah, but Caitlin, but that's just how the bench press is.
Yeah.
You know, you have less muscle mass under the bar. You have less actual force to push through. That's why you hear a lot of coaches talk about leg drive and everything. And it's a lot more, it's the most volatile of the 3 lifts for sure. Karen Wynn.
All right, let's see, Sarah. Good contention right here, 82.5. Good push, Sarah. Keep going. Pass through that window. Push through that window. Very nice. Let's see.
I saw the bar stop. I didn't see it go down, and neither did the referees.
Also, fun fact, I don't know if you guys are new to watching the sport, one arm can lock out before the other. So when you're bench pressing and you sometimes have that left arm locking out right before that right arm, that is completely legal. You can still have one arm lock out the other. As long as there's no up and down motion, one arm can lock out before the other, and that's completely fine. All right, we got Rachel Showers attempting 85 kilos, second heaviest for her flight. Let's see what she's got.
Rose Wong with an easy opener at 3 white lights.
Lauren Harriman coming back out with 90 kgs.
All right, here's Rachel on 4. You want to talk about textbook bench press there.
Yeah.
I mean, the technique held up. And that's the thing. If you lose your technique, if you lose that tension on the bench, it's going to be a lot harder to recover.
Right. All right, let's see Laura Harriman. Good. Beautiful.
Goodness.
Beautiful first opener. I was talking to Jazz earlier. Super excited for her. Super excited for Lauren. Let's see how they do later this meet.
Patria Jimenez on 4. Looks like she's being handled in the corner there by Mr. Mark Doherty, collaborative strength.
Yeah.
Patria with even 5 kilo jumps across the way, 80, 85, 90 kilos. And like we saw, that's all it takes, folks.
Yeah. Hey,
and we see coach in the corner going, it is what it is.
We tried. Just got to keep that mode up, keep moving, right?
Exactly.
One sometimes whenever you have a weight on the bar, you put even one marshmallow on there. It will either be completed or not.
We've all seen that episode of SpongeBob.
Oh.
Ashley Tran up next, 65 kilos.
What was it like? What was the episode where he's like, I am a man? All right, Ashley Tran, let's see what you got. Oh, yeah. So look at that grip right there. Did anyone notice it? Let's see if anyone noticed it.
So Ashley did get 3 whites on that, but Siraj and I saw something there. It looked like her wrist wrap was touching the bar.
Yes.
Generally, that's not allowed.
Yes.
And there's talk about the length.
Yes, and also it's not supposed to go up like a centimeter or 2 above the wrist. I think it's 1 centimeter above the wrist, where the wrist straps cannot go above. So like it goes very close. It's like a very close line, and again, the TC has to either will catch it or not. But again, if they don't catch it, the lift is still good. You keep moving forward. But theoretically, your wrist straps are not supposed to be touching the bar, or sometimes your wrist strap cannot be going up that high. Happens, very common, but like.
And referees catch some things. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. If you're a referee, you're focusing on the lifter that's up, the lifter on the platform, the next 3 lifters behind. So there's a lot going on, and they may not catch everything. It is what it is, ladies and gents.
Again, you keep moving forward. We're all here to have fun, and we focus on having a good time at the meet. Oh, we got Shreyas from GT.
Opening with 80 kilos, 176 pounds. Easy peasy.
There you go, Shreyas.
Looks like he's rocking the new Avansis Gen 2 Gen 2 slippers. Advances, one of our sponsors for the Raw National Championships today. Check them out. They make phenomenal lifting slippers, awesome for bench and for deadlift.
Is that what you wear? Nice.
I do enjoy Advances. It's between them, Notorious. I also lift barefoot a lot just because, you know, on my Dennis Cornelius, I like to feel the ground.
I wear Vivo bare feet.
I've heard Vivos are good. I've also heard the Hyper Vs. Those are
nice,
the classics. Yeah. I see that Stoic just came out with their own version of slippers as well.
Yes, they did. Oh. All right, Levi, had a little up and down motion right there. I think it was just about positioning. He might have pushed it too quickly to the rack, got a little out of position. He'll be fine. He's still got 2 more attempts, still beginning. By the way, we're already on flight C on platform 4.
Oh, yeah, y'all are cooking. We are halfway through second attempts. Looks like platform 4 is going to be just a little bit faster than us. It's okay, though.
It's fine. We're having a good time.
You all are seeing both platforms anyway, so we're just gonna keep going.
We're just going to keep talking the whole time.
Noah Garcia opening with 110 kilos, 242 pounds. And then on platform 3, Miss Jen Averill, utilizing all of her 1 minute to get that start command. And like we said with squat, folks, you have until you get the start command from the head referee. Or sorry, you have 1 minute as soon as the bar is called loaded to get that start command from the referee. And as long as you do that within the time limit, you are not at risk of timing out. But unfortunately, that was a no lift for Jen Averill. Coming up next is Miss Carissa, going up 5 kilos to 192 pounds. And we've got Gabe Arroyo on 4, 253 pounds for the Team 3 60-kilo lifter. Ladies and gents, we hope you have tuned back in on the YouTube. Do give us a shout out. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're watching for. We love to let our lifters know when they watch the stream back, you know, that they're being supported and they got people watching at home. And if you have any questions about powerlifting, we'd be more than happy to answer them. Siraj and I like to think we're pretty well versed in the sport, so if you have any questions, anything on the screen that looks confusing, feel free to ask. We'd be more than happy to answer.
Yes, please. If we're watching the comments right now, so if you have any questions, please put it down.
Lazaro James opening with the same weight, 253 pounds. Bar is loaded for Lorraine Luna. 87.5 kilos, 192 as well. Looks like coached by the Steve Denovi of PRS Training Systems.
Oh, Myrtle Beach is watching Heather Foss.
All right.
From 3D Renew LLC.
Here's Lorraine, very wide grip bench there.
There you go, Lorraine. Go, go. Good attempt. See how her left arm get pushed out right. Oh.
And this is something that we noticed a lot with when I was at bench nationals and equip nationals. I mean, obviously when you get to bench nationals, there's so many different techniques. But when you're looking at a bench press and you see they have a much wider grip than normal, right? More often than not, they've also got a pretty decently high arch. And then along with that, if they do miss that weight, it's most commonly at the chest or very close to it. Now, on the complete flip side, you look at a close grip bencher, right? They're going to have a lot of strength off the chest, but a lot of those issues are going to come when the triceps come into play, and you can't get past that lockout.
Right.
And then we see that, you know, I mean, that's going to be the same that we're going to see for squat, for deadlift, when you get to sumo versus conventional. Just a lot of variation with the sport. Makes it fun. Karen Wynn up next, 95 kilos, 209 pounds.
And we have Vincent Pham, the heaviest bench on the platform, opening up with 132.5 kilos. That's 292 pounds.
That means we're going to be knocking on the door at 300 pretty soon, gents.
Yes, for a bench press. And this is over double his body weight.
At Team 3, no less.
Team 3. I'll be lucky if I bench 225 at that age.
I definitely didn't at that age. No, I
didn't.
But
I didn't. I didn't start working out until later.
both lifters. Looks like Karen Wynn had a little bit of a bobble at the chest there. What are the referees going to say? Let's see.
Did they give it to her?
2-1. That's going to be a no lift. And with that, I believe she might have just jumped the command a little bit, it looked like. Because it looked like she was about to press a little bit, and then she went right back down and then continued the press out.
Yeah.
And then when you miss a command, that is going to be that yellow light.
Yeah. Because technically, for the books, for the LiftingCast, you can't put multiple colors on their thing, so they just probably only saw that they didn't hear the command thing.
Right. Here's Lauren Harriman, very easy second attempt.
Great.
Belt flick to prove it.
Yes.
And David Miller on 4.
There you go, David. Beautiful work right there. Good bench press. I really like the TSS logo underneath the USAPL and the USAPL on the front of the TSS platform.
Isn't it slick?
Very
It's so slick. I like that. Shout out to Wes at TSS. Prime metalworking. Here's Ashley Tran on 3.
And Shreyas on 4. 5 kilo jump, 2.5 kilo jump.
Like we said, folks, we're going to see a lot of these smaller jumps with the bench press. One, because it's really hard to have a decent jump on the bench press. But like I said, we're just chiseling away at that total, seeing what we can add before we get to the real party, which is deadlifts.
Yes, that's when it starts really getting fun. All right, MPP is watching Kate, and Frontline Strength Training is watching from Pifkin Space Base in Greenland.
Ooh, we're all the way out in Greenland.
Ooh, I love this.
We are worldwide, ladies and gents.
I mean, we do have 353 people watching right now, so.
That's quite a bit.
It is.
Platform 4, Levi Ceramax going to be retaking 87.5. Now, Levi was that lifter we saw. That looked like a misgroove on our end, which is just a bobble in technique there. So as long as he's able to maintain that focus with the press, he's on the board.
You can actually see his coach on Platform 3 camera right now watching it.
The coach is just as involved as the athletes here.
Yeah, Levi's
much
moving
better.
Great. Yeah, it was just a little misgroove. He'll be back.
And as a Team 3 lifter, he's got so much more room to grow.
Right.
I mean, this sport goes all the way up to Masters 5.
Now, now here's the thing. If you miss an opener due to a technical issue, as a coach, would you rather keep that weight the same, or knowing that it was a small little technical issue, would you go up?
Depends on the technical issue.
Yes,
my favorite answer for any powerlifting question or opinion is just it depends.
It depends, right? And it really does.
If it's a technique thing, right? Yeah. And in the case of in Levi's case where it was a pretty glaring almost misgroove. It didn't look like strength at all.
No.
However, on an opening attempt, if it's something like that at this stage, and he's young, we're going to play it safe all the way. We're going to play it safe all the way. Now, if we're on a primetime stage, seasoned lifters, 10, 12, 15 years in the game, super, super strong, we're vying for placements where 2.5 kilos can mean the difference between a pro and prize money. You know, it becomes that much more important. You know, let's say it was a misgroove issue. It's a strength they know they can, at the lift they know they can hit. They've hit it before. Why not go up that extra 2.5 kilos?
Right.
You know, 2.5 kilos, it will theoretically feel the same.
Right.
Not always the case in practice, but theoretically it should feel the same. Why not try and get that back?
Right.
You know, and it goes, that further lends to the type of competition that we're getting to and all the different factors that not only the lifters but the coaches have to take into account when they're putting these numbers on the bar for their lifters.
Here, Gabe Ariel coming back to the platform, doing a 120 kilos, double his body weight, and Jen Avero reattempting 87.5 kilos.
Very clean bench there for Gabe.
Yes. Jen did a 7.5 kilo jump for a bench press.
And it did showing as a missed lift. So, like we said, she can't go back down in weight. She has to maintain that 87.5. We hope it was a misgroove. Let's see what Jen's got here.
Go.
Yeah, and like we were saying, when you've got that much wider grip, it's most likely going to be a miss off the chest.
Yes.
Or just a little bit off the chest there. And that's perfectly fine. She is still on the board with that 80-kilo bench, so currently sitting at 225 on the subtotal. Not too bad. Still well within the fight, within the rest of the 56s.
Right. Lorenzo pushing hard on that second attempt bench press. A little struggle in the middle ground, but look, completed it, 3 white lights. He should be happy with that. And then we got John Tran up next. Oh, we have I think an American or world record after John.
Oh my, Mr. Vincent Pham. Ooh, well, yeah, we'll talk about that when he comes up.
Yeah.
Lorraine not able to find it off the chest there. Again, with that opening attempt, still got 82.5. At this point, none of our lifters on Platform 3 have missed. We did only have that one lifter who looks like Yee Rodriguez, looks like she didn't come out for her bench presses, so she is probably done for the meet.
Right.
And even thinking about that, just one bomb out thus far,
we're
doing great.
Yes. Avery O'Roa watching out from his crib, and Luis is saying, no, Garcia is Disneyland's strongest employee.
Disneyland's strongest employee. If you can let us know what park in Disneyland, what rides he works on, we'll be sure to give him a shout out. I've got plenty of Disney puns locked and loaded. Miss Carissa had to get help from the spotters and loaders there. Finishes up with 87.5 kilos. And this is what we were saying, folks. These third attempt benches, we're going to see a decent amount of misses here. And
it happens. It's something like it's
an expectation of the sport.
Yeah. And you also have to remember to remind your athletes, like, look, it's going to happen. And
it's
I know
okay.
It's okay. It's going to be fine. Because it's hard when you have those new lifters. It's like, I want a perfect 9-for-9 meet.
And if they don't see that progression, then it's bad. That's okay.
It's completely fine.
Stop, hold the presses.
Look at Vincent right now. 139 kilos. Chipping it. Let's see.
Out of Yukio Powerlifting.
Oh, my goodness.
Folks, if you're watching at home, the general intervals are between 2.5 kilos. So if we see a random number on the screen that is not an interval of 2.5 kilos, it's got to be an American or world record.
Correct.
And that just went right down the drain for Vincent. And he's going to have plenty more to tack onto that for his third attempt.
And I don't know what that was. Was that an American record or was
it looked like it said American record, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because it's either world or American. Because that's the only place you can do it. You can break American records at a state meet, a regional meet, and a national meet. But world records is at like national
or higher,
Or higher, yeah. All right, David Miller finishing up his bench press with a 2.5 kilo jump at 60 kilos. And we have Karen Nguyen re-attempting 95 kgs. Like Nick said, you can't go down, so let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Let's go, David. Next time.
Karen Nguyen very close to the clock there.
Woo!
But she's on. She's able to lock it out. Was that good for the judges? It was, good. Ladies and gents. 3 white lights for Karen Nguyen. Just beat the buzzer by 5 seconds.
Laura Harriman hitting 100-kilo bench press.
220 pounds, ladies and gents. If you're in the gym and you see Lauren Harriman with more than a plate, maybe a plate and a quarter, do not ask if she needs help. She is good. She can unrack that on her own. Lauren Harriman, 220 pounds.
Go, Lauren. Go, Lauren. Come on. Push it.
Slow and steady.
Push it. Push it.
Oh, it just hits the wall there. What a show.
Round of applause for Lauren. That was a lot. That was 100% effort. I loved it.
And I mean, and that was 2.5. That was
a 5-kilo jump.
Mm-hmm. And that's fine. Knowing that you only went up 10 pounds and you missed it, you still save a good bit of the total.
Let's go, Shreyas. Re-attempting 85. So what command for a bench press can you have to get before the 1 minute's up on bench press?
Start command.
It's press.
Before the 1 minute ends?
Yeah, you have to get the press command before the 1 minute.
I thought it was the start.
No, that's for squat. You have to get the press command before the minute.
Have I been commentating wrong this entire time?
Let me double check, but I think that's what it is.
we're hitting the research books here. We're hitting the handbooks. While Siraj is pulling that up because he's a lot faster at pulling that up than I am. Min Win, platform 3, starting off our third flight of lifters. Levi Saramac able to clean up his bench press and come away with 92.5 kilos, 3 white lights. Very controlled to the chest there for Min. It's going to be another good lift, 3 white lights. Like we said, folks, we're at openers on platform 3. And we are at final bench attempts on platform 4. We only have about 5 lifters left before we go into our 10-minute break. Here is Christopher Persons, 107.5 kilos, 237 pounds even. Noah Garcia on 4. Can he lock out 253? Yes, he can. Do the judges think it was good? And they do not, unfortunately. 2-1, no lift. Now, that's going to be yellow cards from both the head and the side. It's possible his butt came up just a little bit off the bench, might have lost one of those points of contact. That's perfectly fine. He is going to come away with that second attempt. Up next on platform 3, Mr. Dennis Worley Jr., 110 kilos, 242.5 pounds. On platform 4, Lazaro James, finishing up his run of bench press, 122.5 kilos. Lazaro, a 60-kilo junior age division, so between the ages of 20 and 23. Dennis Worley in our open division. Here's Dennis Worley. Dennis Worley able to lock out before that clock ends. Lazaro, unfortunately, not able to find his way through, so that's going to be a missed lift for Lazaro. He'll still come away 5 for 6 on the day, and that's still a ton of momentum going into the deadlifts later on.
I've returned.
Hi, Siraj. What do you got for us?
Nick was right. But that's fun.
I do be right every now and then.
We do be right. All right, Disney, let's go back. Good luck tonight, Abby is saying good luck. Disneyland's strongest employee is crazy title, but I reckon has to be Blake Atwell.
And that's from Pete Spence. Hey, Pete, glad you're watching.
Michelle, the 56 sleeper. That's funny. That's good. Good luck in Primetime. Good. All right.
Yes, Michelle Lynn's going to be in Primetime later on this evening.
She is. All right, Gabe, let's see what you got. 125. Let's go. 275 pounds.
Or sorry, not Michelle. Olivia Liu.
Sorry.
Lou. She's going to be our lifter. Sorry, I spoke there.
What is happening, Nick? What is going on?
I haven't taken a sip of a Monster in about 5 minutes, so that's probably what it is.
I'm going to get the Monster for the deadlift. You know, that's when I need the most energy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sean O, excellent opening attempt there, 112.5 kilos.
Hashtag sponsor us. Monster sponsor us.
And for those watching at home, if you're especially on the East Coast, like Siraj and I are, we're a little bit of a time difference, so it feels almost like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
For us, but it's just past noon, almost 1 o'clock. So our lifters are, especially on the East Coast, they're lifting with the time difference. Another possible variation or factor to take into account when bench pressing, but when traveling for a meet.
Yeah. John Tran, unfortunately, did not finish out and lock out in that position, but don't worry, he's still going to be coming back. Vincent, World Raw Teen 3 bench press world.
So I stand corrected. Record. It was a Raw world attempt. World record attempt, not an American attempt.
143 kilos. So that's when they have to get the three different chip plates, so to get it on there. And they also have to have CAT level coaches. So you can't have a national coach. You have to have CAT, which is international level coaches on the platforms, which is great, especially at Raw Nationals, is because majority of the referees are CAT 1 or 2 or national level coaches, so they don't really have to move or get up, so it's a lot less movement.
And more often than not, you want to have as many categorical referees at a meet as you can, because once we have a world record attempt or anything like that on the platform, you still want to have those level referees on the jury.
Right.
Which goes to show, folks, if you're watching at home and you're powerlifting, get involved. Check out refereeing. It's fun. You should do it. Here's Vincent Pham.
Go, Vincent. Come on.
World record bench. Unfortunately, not going to go.
He already has it.
That's true.
He already has it. He was just trying to get a little extra. And guess what? Platform 4 is done with the bench presses, and we're headed to deadlifts. So right now, they got to remove the bench, they got to remove the rack and everything like that, and they got to get ready for the deadlifts. After all the deadlift weight is put on and set up correctly, you're all good to go.
Yep, so while they get set up for the deadlift on platform 4, we're going to take a quick peek over to the left side for John.
Yes, you guys are on the top of your flight right now, or are you at the bottom of your flight?
We are at the bottom of the flight here, so John's going to be our last opening attempt at 281 pounds, taking it back to the top of the order here for Min Win.
All right, let's see what John says. 3 white lights for John. It'll be good. And guys, the best lift is coming up real soon.
It's my favorite part.
Yes.
The party does not start until the weight hits the floor is the common.
And guess what song I told Gino to open up with the meet with? Because he's using my deadlift playlist.
Is it Kickstart My Heart? Please say it's Kickstart My Heart.
It's the rumbling.
Oh, yes. I love that. All right, Dennis Worley here taking us to the top of the order here. If you're following along on LiftingCast, ladies and gentlemen, and you're watching for RJ, RJ has dropped out of the meet. He went for that opening attempt at 167.5 on squat, is on the board with that. He missed 180 kilos for that second and third attempt. However, it looks like he hasn't put in any attempt for the bench press. So we hope he's okay. We hope there wasn't a tweak or a muscle pull or anything like that. We hope he's safe. We hope he's healthy. But it does look like RJ is going to be out of the meet.
Hey, make sure, I know powerlifting is a tough sport and there's a lot on the body, but we just all want to make sure that everyone practices safely. Make sure everyone out there is all doing well. So.
Absolutely. Lift with a spotter.
Yes.
Set your safeties.
Always have a spotter.
Because ultimately, you can only progress in this sport if you're healthy and you take care of your body.
Going back to spotting, and especially like that, one of the rules is in squatting is that you got to make sure whenever you miss a lift, you go with the spotter. The spotters will protect you to come with it. So always finish the lift, never let go, never dump. Always finish the lift. The spotters will be there to protect you. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I always tell my lifters, especially if they're newer, like you're going into a meet and you're worried about hitting those commands, right? Yeah. One of the most commonly missed commands for the squat and the bench is going to be that rack command.
Yeah.
Too often in the gym, exactly. You get excited too often in the gym where we're just so used to walking it back in, but you've got to wait for that referee to see that you have full control of that bar.
One of the things is one of my coaches told me a while ago is be dramatic. Meaning,
Absolutely.
be dramatic. So when they say start, wait a little bit longer. When they say rack, wait a little bit longer. Make sure you take your time.
I tell my lifters, have the spotters take it out of your hands. Take it out of your hands.
Help you walk.
Yeah. Like for the squat, if you're worried about it, just stand there and have the spotters physically push you into the rack.
You'll
for
get
the bench press, have them physically pull the bar back.
Correct. Yes, because it just makes it a lot easier, a lot less to think about. You just finish on focusing on your lift.
Here's Chris Persons. And that's going to be a good lift for him. 3 white lights.
There you go.
Up right behind Mr. Sean O. Then we've got Billy Morales, Brian Wynn, Tyler Dunn, John Azel, and then back to the top of the order for Dennis Worley.
We got Michelle Lynn waiting in for weigh-ins right now. We got Yash Salas watching from Portland, and he's saying, let's go, men. All right, Sean O's up next. He's attempting 117.5. All right, judges say that, referees say that was a good lift, and Billy Morales is up next, attempting 120 kilos, double his body weight for his second attempt, right over there.
Here's Mr. Billy Morales, 120 kilos. That's 264 pounds. Billy had an interesting run on squats there. He got that opening attempt, but might have just jumped a little bit too high going into his second attempt, so he was only able to get that opening attempt. So we'll see if he's able to change the tone here for the bench press. He's on the board with 112.5. Let's see if he's got 120 on him.
There you go.
And he does.
That was a good second attempt. I'm happy. I would be happy with that. I'm curious what he's going to put after this, though.
If I were a betting man, which I am on occasion, I would put 2.5 kilos on there. Play it safe.
Because the thing is, like, a lot of people, it's just a different adrenaline when you go into deadlifts and you can push yourself a little bit harder. You can go out of that comfort zone and be like, hey, I'm going to push a little bit harder. I can make those bigger jumps. I'm going to be feeling more comfortable with it. And that's one of the best shows coming in. Ryan Nguyen is up here, double his body weight bench press. Let's see what he's got.
Now, like we were talking about there, locked out just a little bit unevenly. Both elbows were locked out. It looked like that left elbow or left arm was just a little bit further down. That's okay because the arms were still locked. Ooh, we've got a question in the chat. Thoughts on USAPL qualifying totals? 110s went from 757.5 to 832. What's the deal?
Yes. Well, as a 110.
Tell the 110s to stop being so strong.
Well, I think it goes down to like a number of things why you change it. You want to make the meet more competitive. You want to make it a lot more higher qualifying competition and everything like that. Now, don't get me wrong. You want to be able to have access for multiple people to come to these meets and go to there. But I definitely think it's just going to increase the level of competition.
That's right.
For sure. And one, it's not going to sell out in like 1 hour.
That's the thing as well, and then that's something we saw. Unfortunately, going into Raw Nationals this year, we saw the sign-up snafu of 2024, and a lot of people that had a place in this meet weren't able to hit that qualifying total, which left some spots open. And so, by increasing those totals and by opening registration up to people who have only hit those totals, there's a lot of opportunity for the lifters that deserve to be there, that have hit those totals, and it creates much more of a competitive and equitable meet just across the board.
Right. I think that's good. I think so.
Ooh, we got another question. Foreign athletes can compete in Raw Nationals. You're absolutely right. They can, depending on which country they are from and if they have a USAPL affiliate in that country.
Correct.
So we're talking USAPL Korea, Ireland, England, Mexico.
I'm going to Mexico.
Any of these, I would love to. Any of these countries that have USAPL affiliates within them, they are allowed to compete at Raw Nationals.
I think it's as a guest lifter.
It would be as a guest lifter, yes, because
Right.
technically they would have already competed for their own nation.
Right.
Now, when we get to like the world stage, like USAPL Worlds, then it's everyone against everyone.
Because I had the same question about the state meet because we run such a big Georgia State meet that we have like over 400 lifters and people are asking can they get their numbers qualified by just going to our Georgia State meet. And I think you just be competing as a guest lifter, but you can still qualify at our state meet. But correct me if I'm wrong. I probably will double check on this and let you guys know later, but we'll be good to go.
All right, up to third attempts now. Our last bench presses. We've got Mr. Dennis Worley Jr. looking to retake 112.5 kilos. And for those of you waiting up on platform 4, excuse me, we've got 3 minutes left before our referees take the seat and start the party.
Because I'm curious to see, like, going back to, like, increasing the totals, I'm curious to see how many people not just only competed, hit those totals, but, like, who are in the federation that has those totals. You know what I'm saying? And if they had a missed opportunity to get to register for that.
Right.
Because I'm curious to go in the lifting database to see how many people have that high of a total, and just go through it as a whole. Especially if we had to look up the 110 class, just to see how many people out there could hit that total.
And that goes into, kind of the administration side of powerlifting. All these decisions that the executive committee and the board have to go through in order to determine, what are these qualifying totals going to be, how high are they going to be to the point where we get the competition we want, but we don't want to exclude the people that can't. You know what I mean? Coming up next on Platform 3, men win 264 pounds. $120 kilos. The clock has started. Here he is.
So as long as he gets that start command, which I have been corrected before that minute is up, he's good to go.
That's right, and you see this a lot with bench press and with deadlifts especially. Everyone has their own setup, everyone has their own way to approach the bar, and you can take as long as you want, like you said, as long as you get it within that minute. And then with the bench press, you've got lifters that are asking for liftoffs. You have that head spotter help you assist you with the bar off of the rack, and even telling that head spotter how you want that liftoff. Is shaving seconds off of that clock.
Right. Now here's a good question here. So would you rather train your lifters to train with a liftoff, which is going to be obviously inconsistent, or would you train them to have no liftoff?
Depends. So in that case, it would depend on the preference of the lifter.
You need to stop using the pen.
I can't. It's so if a lifter is more comfortable doing a self unrack, train it doing a self unrack. Why not? That's one less variable to worry about.
Right.
However, if you feel more comfortable, regardless of just getting that lift off from the head spotter, I would say get it from a different person every time.
Yeah. As much as you want your coach to lift off for you, having inconsistencies on the liftoff is going to make it better.
Exactly. I tell my lifters all the time, like whenever I'm in the gym, like, can you give me a liftoff? And I'm like, no, I have to do my set, have someone else give you a liftoff or whatever. And that way they're not used to just one specific way. You don't want them to get too specific in terms of their technique to where that if they have a bad liftoff or if there's some random freak thing that happens on that unrack, you don't want to crash completely.
Correct. Right.
Oh, folks, we've got the action rocking and rolling for the Deads. The party has started. The weight has hit the floor on Platform 4. Heidi Slocum's going to start us off with 203 pounds. Our first pull of the 2024 USA Powerlifting Raw National Championships here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Easy opener there for Heidi.
Good start.
Here's Billy on 3. Can he find his way up? And he cannot. Spotters have to grab that one. That's going to be a no lift, unfortunately. We've got Brian Wynn, Tyler Dunn, John Azel to round out our bench presses on Platform 3 before we go into our 10-minute break over there. Here's Lynn Marie opening with 110, 242 pounds on the bar. Got a question there. Will there even be a Primetime next year at NAT since everyone's already reaching that elite level with the new qualifying total? And I think that's the beauty of powerlifting. People are just going to keep getting stronger and stronger, and there's always going to be people coming out of the woodwork. There's always going to be people who change. Oh no, Brian Wynn! Brian Wynn's caught on the rack. He's caught on the J-hook. That's going to be a no lift. Oh no, you hate to see that, folks. When you have a bench presser and the bar starts to fade against the rack and they hit that J hook, that's going to be a no lift. They can't inherently lock that bar out. That's a very unfortunate situation there for Brian Wynn. He still comes away with 120 kilos. And a little bit of a chip on his shoulder for redemption coming into deadlifts. Here's Letisa DeSantis. 125 kilos locked in, 275 pounds. Tyler Dunn looking to unrack 132.5. even 5 kilo jumps all the way through.
There you go, Tyler.
Excellent work there. Tyler Dunn. Julia May Caldo on platform 4, opening with 130 kilos, 286 pounds.
Oh, we got someone screaming out for Julia May.
Ooh.
Oh, great opener for Julia May.
From Chris Abwell and Caithness. Sure. I love reading usernames. That's so fun. John Azel.
What's your YouTube username?
Oh, it's just my name. It's just Nick Stevens.
Oh, really?
It's connected to my Gmail.
Oh, okay. Mine is my name backwards.
There you go.
Joris.
Hey. Hey. I
Yeah.
like that. John Azel. Again, we saw with that very wide grip. If you don't get that initial press off the chest, it's going to be hard to get it up. But that's going to finish out our bench press action on platform 3. We're going to allow the spotters to take their 10 minutes, get the platform swept up, make sure we're getting ready for deadlifts, give our referees a break. So for those of you watching on platform 3, go ahead and tune in about 10-ish minutes. Chris, I'm very good at pronouncing names. That's kind of my hidden talent. I'm really good at pronouncing last names with enough practice.
I am not. Meredith. There you go.
And as we're getting into our action with the deadlifts here, can you talk to us a little bit about what kind of stances we might see for the deadlift?
Well, there's only one right one.
We'll chat about that later.
And it's sumo. No, you got multiple different stances. You got conventional, you got frog, you got sumo. You got so many different stances out there that, like, you're just seeing how it's going to make it work. So this is what we're going to be doing. So Emily Ngo is going to be coming up to a platform. She's got 30 seconds left. I don't know why she's not at the bar just yet.
Oh, here she comes.
There she is.
Probably just had to get powdered up real quick.
Yeah, getting that baby powder, which we'll talk about as well later. But she's got a conventional stance. So that's where your feet are almost directly right underneath your shoulders. All right. Again, a lot more distance to travel, completely fine, but it's whatever your strength is. Why is conventional more preferred for some lifters? Maybe it's because they have a stronger back. Maybe they have a better lockout of that position. Or in sumo, you got better legs, or you have more mobility to get up there. Different stances can have different styles of lifting.
And then there's the secret hidden stance, the froggy stance,
the
hybrid. It's basically just sumo, but your feet are a little bit closer in. It kind of sets you up in more of a squatted position.
Yes, for quad dominant lifters.
Yep.
Yes. Heather Foss got a good sumo stance right over here. Is her belt backwards? I think it is backwards.
It is, and listen, lifters can do whatever they want.
Oh.
I think she was ready to just go up and right back down.
She knew. She saw it.
And listen, Heather's a very seasoned lifter. You know, this isn't her first go. And I think she was more like, dang it, than anything. In that instance, I would go up in weight.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's just not a matter of strength at that point. She has a great opener. You just want to keep moving forward.
Exactly.
Yes.
Here's Sophia. Coming up next, 347 pounds.
What time is Primetime tonight?
Primetime tonight starts at, excuse me, if I'm not mistaken, I believe at 5:30.
Or is it 8? Because we're about to start session 2.
Primetime, there's only 2 sessions today. Primetime is that second session.
So the second session. So right after this is Primetime.
Okay.
There you go. Must be nice.
And folks, if you're watching at home, I would 100% check out that live stream, man.
Yeah.
Check out the live stream for Primetime. It's going to be action-packed. You're not going to want to miss it. I, unfortunately, will not be on the stream for commentary for that one. My good colleagues, Leo Bonnet and Solana Lewis, will be on the mic. But if you do want to hear me again, I'll be on the mic for Primetime Day 2 with my buddy Leo as a sub-in for Solana. Solana will be competing. So can't be in 2 places at once there.
And unless she's that good. Put a microphone, like, you know how you mic up your football players? What if she mic'd up for the competition?
If I were mic'd up for competition, I'd have the mic muted the whole time. Because I know some lifters can be fairly unhinged in the warm-up room. And,
what are you talking about? Is it stressful back there?
Not at all.
No,
not at all.
Not at all, right? Okay.
You only have 200 lifters back there plus their coaches. all vying to get their warm-ups done in the correct amount of time. It's not stressful.
Not
I don't know what you're talking about. Miss Lynn Marie, 120 kilos, 264 pounds, went up. 110, missed it. That's 242 pounds. Missed it, went up to 264. I wonder if it was a slight bobble at the top there, kind of similar to Heather Foss. Let's see what she's got. That looked great.
They look great. I think it's just a little bobble.
Yeah, there we go. Three white lights on the board.
Right now, everyone, and Lynn's got a 267 total. And we're going to be going, I'm going to be keep tracking of like where our placements are right now.
Yes, and that, like we were saying earlier, folks, the party starts when the weight hits the floor. The meet actually begins when the deadlifts start, because you're only able to get a good picture of prospective placings and things like that when you have your first deadlift on the board.
Correct. And just a reminder, the primetime competitors are still going against these lifters as well, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So let's say theoretically, sometimes even these lifters, technically, even though primetime are the top lifters, there are times where like a lifter in these regular sessions could outlift a primetime lifter.
And we saw that last year with Jalen Falk in the hundreds.
Correct.
Who is coming back this year for one of the most stacked face-offs in the 100-kilo class. So we'll see if he's able to retain that title. But he actually out-totaled every other 100-kilo, and he wasn't in the primetime session.
Right.
So now that he's in primetime, we're going to see what that action looks like.
Exactly. So this happened. That makes it more competitive. So even primetime lifters are watching this right now because they're watching their competition.
Letitia DeSantis, easy 135.
So what do you think? Is that an advantage or disadvantage?
I mean, at the end of the day, it will always be some sort of a disadvantage, only because the primetime lifters get to watch you and get to answer.
Yes.
Right? For the lifters that are of that caliber in the daytime sessions, that's the question. Yeah. Right? Can they make it happen? Can they get to the top echelon? It's up to the primetime lifters to answer. Can they showcase their strength in the ways that they're envisioned to in the primetime session? Right. And if that doesn't happen, then we see upsets like we did last year with Jalen, where in the daytime session no one picked him. He's a strong lad, don't get me wrong, but no one picked him to win outright. And we may or may not see that at some point within this national championship. Right.
Alicia attempting 140 kgs, got the flex shirts on. Pink on pink.
Alicia taking 140 kilos, 308 pounds.
Wow. Super smooth.
And if we want to compare a little bit with, kind of a wide grip bench versus a sumo deadlift, if you're looking at a sumo deadlift, more often than not, if there's any difficulty, it's going to come off the floor.
Yes.
Right? Similarly, when you give a wide grip bench, you're going to have trouble getting it off the chest. Yeah. With conventional lifters, like you were saying, they have a much stronger back, and so they're able to cover that extra distance. Now, with that extra distance, their struggle is going to come at lockout. Because they don't have any of that extra musculature. It's just their back.
There's your frog stance right there.
Yeah, frog. Meredith. We'd love to see it.
There you go. Very nice. Heather is going to be re-attempting 147.
Okay.
That's fine.
Listen, any call, even if she stayed the same, is going to be a good call.
Yeah.
And now you notice a lot of our lifters in the deadlift session here, they've got to have Pippi Longstocking socks. They've got to have them all the way up to the bottom of the knees there. And not only is it for, ease of movement, but, sanitary reasons. Yes. Obviously, and a lot of times you see on social media, lifters are tearing up their shins with deadlift. And then that's a very real thing that can happen. Yep. And so in order to maintain a safe playing field, an equitable playing field, we have our lifters wear those socks to protect them and the other lifters. It also gets kind of icky, when you have all that schmutz on the bar. And so when you have just chalk and powder, it's easy to brush off.
Correct. Now, trust me, as a gym owner, I get it. I tell people, you're wearing long socks on my bars when you're deadlifting, because I don't want any blood on my bars. All right, that was a good lift. 3 white lights.
Here's Sophia going to take 165.
Oh, yes.
Sumo stance here for the 52 kilo junior, excuse me.
The amazing old school Inzer singlet right there. You know, that was everyone's first singlet.
Either Inzer or Titan.
Yes.
Either Inzer or Titan. Shout out Titan Strength System, or Titan Support System, excuse me, another longtime sponsor for USA Powerlifting. But yeah, I know my first singlet was a Titan, and then I switched to SBD. I have a bunch of singlets now.
Yeah.
But my first was a Titan.
Yeah. Mine was mine was actually USA Strength Powerlifting. You know
the USAPL singlets, one of the OG ones.
Yeah.
The shiny looking ones.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Good time. All right, third attempt's already on flight A. We're moving.
And we've got the 2-minute warning on platform 3.
Dude, platform deadlifts move fast, guys. Oh, Heidi, let's go.
Can she find the way through lockout?
There
Yes, she
you
can.
go.
Just like I was saying, folks, sumo stance, if we get any turbulence on the way up, it's going to come off the floor, but the lockout's going to come a lot easier if we can get past that point.
It's just patience. And I know, like, with a lot of lifters, it's like when you feel like it's not moving but it's coming off the ground, stay patient and be with it. Obviously, be safe, but, like, be patient, stay safe.
Coming up next is Miss Lynn Marie, 130 kilos.
Came back with the great second attempt. Let's see what she's got for her third attempt. 20 kilos. Missed her first, got her second. Let's see how she does for her third.
Here we go, Lynn. Spotters and loaders are porting back to platform 3. It's just not going to go. And, you know, we're going to see that with deadlift oftentimes. It's those pesky spotters, they carry that extra bottle of super glue on them, and before the lifter comes out, they just spray the bottom of the weights.
Don't listen to him about that. No,
deadlift and deadlift, just like bench, and really with all the lifts, it's a super volatile thing, you know, and a difference of 2.5, 5, 10 kilos can mean the difference between it flying and it just not moving at all.
Right. So why would a person get a red on a deadlift?
If a person gets a red, that means that was a failure to lock out, essentially. So that is seen at the shoulders, and that is seen at the knees. Because more often than not, if those 2 points of contact are loose, then you're not fully locked out at the hips either. So when our referees are watching, they want to be sure that the shoulders are behind the bar. You want to be sure that your knees are fully locked out and behind the bar. At the very end of the lift in order to not get those reds.
Alexa Tone is up next, attempting 145 kgs. That is 320 pounds. There you go, Alexa. Great lift. She's happy with it. She's smiling. 3 white lights. Leticia DeSantis is up next. Same weight.
Ooh, bars loaded. The party started on platform 3. Ladies and gents, Michelle Emerson. Bar is loaded now bar is loaded at 130 kilos, 286 pounds. We're going to get the ball rolling now.
There you go, Leticia. Look at that. Oh, not today.
It looked like the bar got just a little bit out in front of her there.
Yeah, it looked like it. It's all about positioning, man, especially with sumo. I feel like with conventional, you can
kind of get away with it a little bit better,
You can get away with it, especially if it's a bar out. But like with sumo, since you have such a low surface of area where the gap is of like how you can position the bar, you can either, if it's lost, it's lost. And you don't want to risk an injury for that.
You really don't. And
come
on, Alicia, find the way. Find the way.
Those hips.
There we go.
She got those hips through. I'm curious.
I'm gonna give that 3 whites.
She did. You think so? I think so too.
Oh no, we were both wrong.
Up and down mode.
Oh my goodness.
I would challenge that.
I would absolutely challenge that. It's free. Why not?
Yeah.
At the end, the worst they can tell you is no. But that looked good. I saw the bar stop. I didn't really see any up and downward motion. But then again, folks, we're just seeing this front camera view here.
Yes.
And the head referee said it was good.
Yes.
From our angle. So the side judges saw what we didn't, and that's why we have 3 judges surrounding the platform. 3 referees, excuse me, judges on the jury.
Yeah,
I knew it as soon as I said it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I heard it. I was like, wait, I'm going crazy. All right, Leah. She's the one that got the American record squat. Right?
World record
squat, yes.
Put some respect on that name. Leah Alanis.
Leah Alanis.
Very easy opener there.
All right, Emily. 3rd attempt. 152.5. Good. Let's see what the referees say. I'm going to say 3 white lights. Beautiful work. All
Here's
right.
Miss Jade Chambliss. It looks like she changed her singlet for the deadlifts.
Heather Foss is up next. Going up 12.5 kilos from her 2nd attempt. Didn't get her first one, had up and down motion at the lockout. Heather did a good 2nd attempt. I'm curious to see how this is going to go. 12.5 kilos jump. She's got this.
Here's Jade Chambliss.
That's a wide stance for Jade.
Very clean. Now, I wonder if the knees were fully locked out there, and it's really hard to tell when you get that wider stance sumo. 3 white lights. Lift is good.
All right, let's go, Heather. Come on, Heather. Oh, yeah. That's fine. Ish. So
it was wobbly.
It was wobbly. I did see her knee lock out and unlock out, but I'm curious. There you go. 3 white lights. Good. That's why I'm not on the platform.
And one thing, too, when we're watching, folks, you're getting a good view of the head referee here. When you're trying to look out for up and downward motion on a deadlift, or on any of the lifts, really, you don't want to be looking at the sides of the bar, right? So with Heather's lift there, it kind of tilted from side to side.
Yes.
However,
it did not go up and down.
It did not go up and down, nor did the middle of that bar go up and down.
Right.
As a referee, and I'm very newly minted, but as a referee, when I'm watching, I'm looking at the middle of that bar there, because as long as that continues up, it can teeter-totter, go side to side however it wants.
Right.
But as long as the middle surface of the bar keeps going, then we're good.
Yeah.
Sophia, can she find her way to the top? Lock out that knee. Oh, like her grip was going as well.
Yeah, I saw that left hand. Good attempt.
Coming up next there, Miss Brittany Lee, taking us to our 2nd flight of lifters at 65 kilos. And we've got Marielle. Jinx. 308 pounds. We're at the top of the midway through first attempts here for our first flight of lifters. And bars loaded for our first flight of lifters on platform 4. Brittany Lee taking us to 143 pounds.
Easy opener for Brittany Lee.
That was a very textbook conventional.
Yes.
As coaches in collegiate football would teach a deadlift, that was how you would do it. That was awesome. Excellent technique.
I wonder if a Jefferson squat would count as a deadlift. Think about it.
It'd be really hard to get the shoulders locked out. That'd be my thing. It'd be really hard.
It'd be hard, but it'd be really hard, but you could do it.
You could. You absolutely could. And folks, like we said, we're on to deadlifts now, so we can kind of start to see where the placings are going to start shaking up. If you all are interested in how everything is looking at home, go ahead and check out liftingcast.com/meets to Raw Nationals Day 1, platforms 1 through 4, whichever platform you want. We're on 3 and 4 because we're the coolest.
Yeah.
But we've got the 52s and the 56s. They're spread across all the platforms, so if you want to see how those placings are shaking out, go ahead and tune in. And now that I'm thinking about it, sorry to keep rambling here, but if you're a coach and you've got a lady, if you're Marta's coach here and you've got other ladies in the 52 kilo class on different platforms, dude, the amount of stress involved to go from platform to platform, check the numbers of the other lifters, and then go back to make sure your lifter on your own platform is good. It's such a mind game.
Right.
It's very difficult, and it takes a lot of focus and a lot of attention and a lot of just know-how from the coaches and a lot of trust from the lifters.
Want to hear something crazy? Not 2024, 2020, was it 2023 states I had to handle 65 lifters.
Nope. Yes, I was there. I think we commentated that
one.
Yes,
yes, you were. Remember? I was running back and forth between 10 platforms. I was lucky to have a great amount of coaches to help me out and handlers, and it was amazing. And thanks to all of them. Shout out to Trueborn coaches and everything like that. Melissa up next, 145. Rachel Showers is up next on platform 4. Someone's giving you a shout out, Nick, on the commentary.
Jose. How you doing, Jose? He's a Masters lifter. He's competing tomorrow.
Oh.
We actually shared the flight
on
the way here. He was right behind me.
Nice.
Couldn't not stop kicking my seat.
Oh, man. You should ask for a refund on your ticket.
I might. I'll just ask Jose to comp it. It's fine.
Okay, perfect. You're all good to go. Julia Ann is up next, and Caitlin Slovak.
Bars loaded for both ladies. Julianne taking her time.
No rush. 1 minute's plenty a long time.
And you see this with deadlift especially. You see some of the lifters locking their belt right before they get down there. Can you adjust to anything else with your entire fit before you go out on the platform, or is it just your belt?
You don't have to have a shirt underneath your singlet.
That
is one. Belt is one. Not that I can think of on the top of my head.
That's the only one.
That's the only one.
That's the only one. Because a lot of times, lifters come out with like their socks are down, their knee sleeves are down, their wrist straps.
Yeah.
Gotta all be strapped up, ready to go on the platform. The only thing you can adjust is
your belt.
Is your belt. That's
because
right.
Even on squats, you have to have your belt locked in before you step on the platform. Well, sometimes they do let it out.
Oh, thank you, 3D Renew LLC. So really enjoying the commentators.
Oh, good.
Entertaining and explaining the process. Thank you.
We're doing our best.
It's very reassuring.
Yes.
It still feels really early in the morning, but it's like almost 2 o'clock. So.
No, it's 3:30 for us. Remember?
That's right. That's right. Oh my goodness. All right, Patria Jimenez, beautiful opener there, 160 kilos. That's going to be a good lift.
We're moving fast.
We really are. Michelle Emerson here, taking her second attempt for the first flight of deadlifters on platform 3. It's going to be a good lift as well, I imagine. And is. Bars loaded next for Miss Maddie Werner on platform 4. And then Miss Claudia Romero on platform 3.
All right. Claudia's second attempt. Maddie's first opener. There you go. Oh.
I wasn't watching insanely closely. I hope I didn't see the middle of the bar. Okay, yeah, that was
up and down.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that was pretty there.
Yeah. The bar could stop. It's okay if
Yes.
it stops and then continues going up. But if it goes down just a little bit, or if one of the refs sees it goes down a little bit, they gotta put that blue light.
Right. Here's Miss Christina Lynn, 165 kilos, 363 pounds. Bars loaded on platform 3 for world record squat holder Leah Alanis. She's going to be going up to 314 pounds.
Teen 2. I'm so curious to see how her future with powerlifting goes.
When I was 16, I didn't know what the gym was. At 16, Leah's performing on the highest possible stage in USA powerlifting.
Yes. At 16.
She is not like us.
At 16, I was playing my Nintendo X64, which I don't think she even knows what it is, and an orchestra.
Here's Marielle Opena coming right behind. Missed at 140, but is going up to 145, so we imagine that was probably a bobble at the top there.
Yeah. All right, Brittany doing a 2.5 kilo jump on her deadlift.
I'm wondering if Brittany Lee was our lifter.
She did the big squat jump.
So she had an extremely big squat jump. And now I imagine she's probably going to be doing the same thing here. I want to ask her coach what the mindset is behind that for squat and deads. Now, I imagine it's probably like some physical limitation there because she didn't do it with bench. It was just squat and deads.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's going to be the same kind of jump scheme there.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Technically, you can put whatever you weight on the opening that you want, right? So let's say, Nick, you can squat 300 kilos, but just saying, theoretically.
She put in 70 kilos. Interesting. Okay,
But
I'll let you
remember,
finish.
But, like, you don't have to put your real opening attempt until 3 minutes before.
You want to talk about that just a little bit?
So, yeah, 3 minutes before the meet starts or 3 minutes before or 3 lifters before your flight starts, you can change your opening attempt. So either you can gaslight people to think that you don't have a strong opener for competitions and then change it later and then do that. Now, I don't know, maybe she might be suffering through an injury and that's completely fine and then we don't want her to risk any injuries whatsoever. But technically, if you want to be really sly, you can technically do that. It's frowned upon. But
And now on the flip side of that, when we're talking about placings and all that stuff, you can also change your third attempt deadlifts.
How many times?
3 times. You can change your third attempt deadlift 3 times. So I mean, you put that first attempt in there, so you can change it once from there. You can change it once from there again, and one more time.
Yeah. And
we see those attempt changes a lot when we see people kind of jockeying for that position at the very end, where it does come down to kilos on the bar, and it's a common play for coaches to put a placeholder there, which is a certain deadlift number that a lifter that's watching you can say, oh, well, they're putting that number in. I'm going to put this number in to pull ahead. Not so fast. Let's say that lifter goes ahead and pulls it. Well, the coach who put in that placeholder number could ramp that number up and completely change the playing field. So that's what we're watching. That's what we're kind of focused on here as we get into the third attempt deadlifts. Once we start finishing up our attempts.
There you go, Marta. Come on, Marta. Come on, Marta.
Oh, no.
That was a grind. I don't know if you guys were watching that. I was watching that. That was a grind. I hope she's okay.
She almost fell on one of our photographers, Kev Drury, there.
Yes. So, going back to our previous conversation. So, let's say your lifter has the same total, same weight, and you're on third attempt deadlifts.
Same total, same weight. Okay.
Same total, same weight. Obviously, different lot numbers. So, obviously, the person with the lower lot number will go first.
Sure.
So, you as a lift, you can watch that person, and let's say they hit that lift, and it's like you want to be able to beat them. You either can match their weight, which you know you've already lost because they have the lower lot number, and you guys are the same body weight, and you have the same total, and they pull. You, going right after them, have an opportunity to change that number to increase it by 2.5 kilos to pull for the win. So that's what makes this sport interesting at those third attempt deadlifts, because you can watch a lifter lift and then change it in the last second to potentially pull for the win.
And if we're watching, folks, and we see any kind of like delays on the screen in terms of like why is the bar just sitting there and no one's coming out, well, the lifters have until that bar is called loaded by that head referee to change your attempts. So that spotter can put the last caller, he can be halfway there right before he locks it in. You can be like, nope, I want to change my attempt. And the bar has to be unloaded.
Yes.
So you want to make sure you have all the time you need and be sure you come in with a plan.
Right. And it's also, here's interesting. You know how we were talking about how you cannot go lower than the number you put in? So let's say you're pulling for a competition and you put a higher number. So go back to the same girls. Same body weight, same totals, right? But one girl has a 100-kilo deadlift, the other girl has a 110-kilo deadlift, right? For that girl to pull, and she misses 100 kilos, the person that put 110 can technically change their number to go down to 100 because they don't have to pull as much weight. As long as it's more than their second attempt. Exactly. So that's the great thing about like learning about the sport. You can see how you can just play around with that game.
And if you want, like I said, if you want to follow along to all this stuff to kind of get the visual picture of what we're seeing, you got to go to LiftingCast because you can see those attempt changes live. As soon as they put them in, we see it on the LiftingCast, and it makes it so much more interesting. It makes the competition fun. That's where we start to see the gamesmanship between the different lifters. That's when we see the competition come out.
Yeah.
I love deadlifts. I can't wait.
We learned a lot about this in our level 2 senior coaching.
Oh, you took it?
I took it last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I took it
I'm
last
taking
year.
it next year.
You're taking it next year? Yeah. We learned a lot about this. We learned about like a lot of these rules and everything like that. We also had to learn how to wrap knees. That was fun.
Oh, wrapping knees is fun. I like it. I have 2 lifters that compete wrapped. They do untested federations, so it's fun. It gives me a little extra bronze my abilities, we'll say.
Yes.
And kind of like what Suraj mentioned, when you come to national level meets, before the competition starts, USAPL offers an opportunity for coaches to further enhance their knowledge and their experience, and they are able to complete their senior national level courses. You have to be a USAPL coach for 2 years, and you would have had to have completed all of those requirements as well. But yes, there's tons of opportunities as well. And then after NATS, we have the National General Body meeting where we go over different rule changes and things like that.
And I'll be there.
I will not be. I will be on my flight home. I have to work on Tuesday.
I have to stay because I'm state chair, so I have to go. Okay, so I'm guessing there must be like
there must be some sort of limitation there, or maybe she's just here to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm kind of interested to see what that would look like there. It looked like she kind of strained a little bit at the top, so it's possible that she might have hit something in her back there.
Right.
And they went low for that squat, and then she was like, I feel good enough. Let's put something on the bar here. Did that. Probably got through bench and was like, now I'm feeling pretty sore. Let's play it safe, and then hit those lower numbers just to stay on the board.
I mean, you hate to see it, but you got to do what's best for the lifter at the end of the day.
That's right.
Protect them because there's always another meet, like we said before. We're just gonna go from there.
Oh, hey, Cole. Good to see you again. Never knew how niche but precise the weight selections have to be. Coach has to have a good idea of your strength to space your lifts to maximize your totals. Absolutely. That is one of my favorite parts of being a coach, especially when we get into the competition bits, is playing with the numbers and jockeying for placements and actually getting to compete once we get to the deadlifts. That is my favorite part, and it does lend to the trust that the lifter and the coach has to have with each other, and the confidence that the coach has, and all that other good stuff.
Yes. I see Gino.
Oh, man, the big man. Gino Biancheri. Gino Powerlifting, the mad pirate of powerlifting, is behind the curtain now.
He announced for the True Bar Knockout.
He announced my very first meet ever.
Really?
It was a local meet.
Nice.
Jen Thompson was running it. Jen Thompson, ladies and gents, another national level landmark.
World level landmark.
Claudia Romero not able to find the way with 152. Still comes away with 142.
Yep.
And bars loaded for Diana Sanchez on 4. We do love to see Gino at these meets. I mean, you think about USA Powerlifting, and your mind almost immediately goes, oh, that's the sport with that one pirate guy.
Yes. That's how people know what it is, and that's how we go from there. I got to go. Right back. I chose their playlist.
All right, Miss Marta does not come away with that opener at 155, so she'll come away with 145 kilos on the bar. Here's Caitlin Slovak, one of my favorite setups, all intensity all the time. Finds her way to lockout, 157.5 kilos. That's going to be a good lift. Excellent redemption from that missed second attempt. Coming up next, Miss Jade Chambliss on 3, and Ariani on 4. Can Jade find her way to lock things? Oh, man, the hands. And she knew it, too. Right at the top there, started to move to lock out, and then all it takes is the hands just, boom. That's all it takes, folks. Got to chalk up extra hard sometimes for those deadlifts. And we're looking at, and little bit of point of clarification for all of you watching at home. If you're looking at these lifters, they've got white stuff on their hands, white powder on their legs. There is a difference, folks. You want to have chalk on your hands and powder on your legs. Chalk makes it stick, powder makes it slick. You want powder on your legs so that you can get a smoother lock out of the top, but you do not want powder on your hands because you're not going to be able to grip that bar. Here's Tuong Nguyen. 5 kilos up. Oh, fortunately not able to find the way. And then Miss Rachel Showers, 167.5. Finds her way to lockout very clean. Rachel Showers, if I'm not mistaken, 9 for 9 on the day. 3 for 3, finishes a perfect day at 2024 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals.
I'm back.
Hi, back. I'm Nick.
Hey, Nick.
Melissa up next on platform 3. We're now on third attempts here, finishing up third attempt, for this first flight. 352 pounds. Beautiful finish there. Representing top end strength. That's going to be a good lift. 3 white lights. Melissa also going 9 for 9.
There you go, Sarah. Oh, I got a little away from her. So if you guys were watching, Sarah, the bar started pulling away in front of her. So that means what happens, she just had to let it go down. Christina Lynn reattempting 175 kgs. That's 385 pounds.
And then also looking to continue a great day, Miss Ava Allen for the 52 kilo class. 10 kilos up from that second attempt. Representing 110%, representing the slack pull socks.
Let's go. Go, Christina. Yes. Keep going. Keep going,
man.
Christina. Don't stop pulling, Christina. There. I don't know what the referees are going to say.
I don't know that that's going to go. That's going to be no lifts for both lifters. Ava just lost hands at the very, very end of it.
You hate to see it.
Coming up next, Miss Patria Jimenez on platform 4, and then Katie Lee, bars getting fixed up for her at 369 pounds. And this is going to put her into, currently put her into second place for the 52 kilo class at the moment, keeping in mind that we've still got all of our primetime lifters as well.
Yeah, Patria is going to be pulling this. If she pulls this, she'll go from third to second place.
And that's for the 56s.
Yes.
Unfortunately, those pesky spotters just wanted to super glue the weight again.
Oh, we don't do that here.
That's okay. That's still an excellent show for Patria. I believe
yes.
She went 8 for 9 on the day.
Yes.
Or sorry, 7 for 9, excuse me.
7 for 9, yeah. And then we got Maddie Wardner. So she will stay in first place if you're looking at the board because she's competing as a guest lifter. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, she will not be going in the podium or anything like that because she does have a high total. I think she would have placed second or third, but unfortunately, I think she missed weight. So, still finishing the meet. Just finish the meet. Have a good time.
And that's what we want to see. You have and unfortunately, you have the situations where injuries don't allow you to. You don't feel comfortable going with the meet, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But if it's a matter of technique happened or things didn't go the way you intended, do the whole rest of the meet.
Yeah.
Do the whole rest of the meet. You've prepped, like we said earlier. You've prepped for 3-4 months sometimes, going into this meet. And I, for one, would not want all that work to go to waste. And like you were saying earlier, oftentimes if things don't go your way, that's stress off of you.
Well,
that
you got to think about it like
on.
that. You got to think about it. You've had many lifters compete at nationals, especially getting ready for meets. You got to think all right, stress is a factor. The weight cut is a factor.
Absolutely.
The platform is a factor.
Sleep and travel.
Sleep and travel. Hell, I would say, how many? If I would ask my lifters, hey, show up 2 days before you have to compete so you can decompress.
Absolutely.
Things like that. And one of the lifters said, actually, how would you choose weight selection for your lifters before you think it's a risk of injury?
You know what I'm going to say.
It depends.
It does. it does. And it comes down to how well that coach knows the lifter. And it comes down to the experience of the lifter as well. How well are they able to push? If they're a lifter where, the technique starts to falter when they get heavier, you might not want them to push all that much because while they're strong enough to hit the weight, their technique's not going to hold.
Right.
On the flip side of that, if they've got great technique and you lose it on strength, you're going to go as far as you can.
Right.
And it really does come down to, I think, the experience of the lifter.
Right.
Because your ability to grind, your ability to push, while some people are just naturals at it, a lot of times that takes practice.
Right.
A lot of times people aren't used to having to grind through a lift. They're used to, it's not moving well, drop it, try it again next week.
I mean, we all had those lifters that say, like, hey, if
it's me. I am one of those lifters sometimes,
It stops moving, you're like, it's good. I feel like I can push and grind through a squat and a bench more than I can grind out a deadlift.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I can probably grind out a squat better than anything. I'm awful at grinding out benches.
You're just like, nope.
I've got really long arms, so the farther up I go into my sticking point, the least likely I am going to finish the lockout.
How tall are you, Nick?
6'1".
6'1"? Okay.
6'1", but I've got 2.5 arms. So it makes it really fun to deadlift, but it's really hard to bench.
I'm 6'3", and I have 6'4" arms.
There you go. Same but different.
Same
but different.
Same but different.
Here's Levi Saramac starting off our last flight of the deadlifts on platform 4.
There you go, Levi.
Like we said, folks, this is our last flight of deadlifts on platform 4. So after this, the action's done. It's over.
Yes.
For now. We've still got prime time.
I got a phone call at 4. Sorry, why don't you take that? Well.
Here is Carissa or Charissa. Charissa, if we are pronouncing your name, I'm so sorry. Both her and Benson taking their opening attempts.
There you go.
Very easy for Benson there. He does have that record bench attempt. Not able to extend that to the world record on his third attempt, but
no, he
still
got it
looking
on his
to.
second attempt.
He did. Yeah. He did.
Yeah.
See if he's able to keep that same momentum finishing out for deadlifts.
Yes. Oh, Gabe, back again. Remember, Gabe is only 18 to 19 years old, opening up with 185 kgs.
And here's Jen Averill on 3. Very clean deadlift there.
Ooh.
Gabe looks like he's on one, ladies and gentlemen. 2-1, going to be a good lift. Gabe's looking a little dangerous. Let's see what those attempts look like later on down the road.
One thing you also want to keep in mind is if you do slam the weights, you could get a red light for it. So if you throw that bar down as hard as you can, you could get a red light for it.
And for those of you watching at home, it seems counterintuitive. Right? It seems like, if they lifted it up, they should be able to do whatever they want with it. No. The referees, and the main thing with powerlifting and the basis behind refereeing powerlifting in general is that lifter has to be in control of the weight at all times. The weight cannot control the lifter. So if that lifter is going and he drops the bar or he slams the bar down, that's no different in the eyes of the referee than the weight being too heavy and not being able to finish the lockout or anything like that. And when you slam the weight, you're not controlling the bar to the ground.
Correct.
You don't have to do a whole tempo onto the ground, but you want to be sure that you're bringing it down safely.
Yes.
Right?
Safely. I think safely is also one thing as well.
If that bar has not stopped moving and your hands are off of it, that's not good. It's not good because you're not in control of the bar in its motion.
Right.
That's the main thing.
Here's another thing. For sumo lifters, what do you think about grip? Widening the grip, narrowing the grip? Because you always got to think, with a narrow grip, like you got over here, Noah, he's got a pretty narrow grip for a sumo. Would that cause an issue for him for his lockout at all, especially with his shoulders trying to go back?
It would depend on that was just habit at that point. For me, I think it would depend a lot on their physiology.
Yeah.
Right. If they've got longer arms, but they have a more narrow stance, it wouldn't hurt to have a wider grip. However, if they in the sense of Noah, he has longer legs, but he's got kind of a shorter torso, and not to say he's not wide, but he's one of our smaller lifters, and so
we're in the 60 kilo class.
Right,
okay, we're
right.
fine. It's
His he's able to get his lats through, and he's able to find his shoulders at lockout a lot easier.
Yeah.
And so I think that lends a little bit more to the physiology of the lifter, as well as their preference and comfort and things like that.
So leverages.
Absolutely. I should have just led with that. I should have led with leverages.
We went for a long walk for a small drink of water.
Listen, we got to get our steps in somehow. Here's Rose Wrong, platform 3. Easy lockout there, 162.5 kilos. Coming up next, Mr. David Miller, 142.5. Is our Masters 2 lifter in the 60 kilo class. Very clean second attempt there for David.
Lauren Harriman coming back out, opening with 167 kilos. I wonder if anyone is watching Lauren Harriman from Georgia. Please
If anyone's
comment.
watching Lauren Harriman from Georgia, shout us out in the chat.
Yeah. Shreyas, oh my God, another Georgia boy.
It's like they planned it.
Oh my goodness. Good job, Lauren. Shreyas, let's see what you got.
Shreyas looks like he's rocking one of the new Avances colorways
Nice.
for their Generation 2
And I think that's
slipper.
I think that's a GT barbell. Oh, his belt is not buckled. Okay.
There he goes.
There we go. I was like,
I think you noticed that when he went down there. He's like, oh, there you go.
There's no tension. I see. There you go, Shreyas. Good.
Love the Seth Rogen sounding laugh. Please keep up the laughs.
I do.
Who of us has the Seth Rogen laugh?
I do.
Oh.
It's not the first time I've heard it. Everyone makes fun of me about it. Now you hear it, and now you.
Oh, now I hear it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Levi Saramac, easy second attempt there at 402. Bar is getting brushed off there for Tara Thomas on platform 3. And that's important too. One thing that some of the coaches want to look out for at the at nationals when it comes to deadlifts is you want to make sure that bar is clean. If you're looking at a sumo deadlifter, Tara Thomas, for example, she will be putting her hands on the bar, ideally where the conventional pullers would have the powder.
Right.
So it's kind of counterproductive there. You're putting something sticky on something that should be smooth.
Right. Well, one thing if you guys notice, on third attempt deadlifts, every time they are cleaning that bar. Because they have to clean it, but we're trying to I know it's the last lift, we're trying to optimize it. And some people do comment that they should do it on their first and second attempts. Oh my good.
Vincent Pham not able to find lockout with that one, unfortunately. His hand started to go.
Yeah, I saw that. And an up and down motion as well.
Oh, folks, unfortunately, Siraj has to go do coaching duties. We will see him in just a little bit. Here's Sharissa on platform 3, 160 kilos, 352 pounds. And Gabe Arroyo here with 440. Decent jump here. So we went from 185 to about 407, going up to 440. Pretty solid jumps here for Gabe Arroyo. And it looks like nothing for him. Let's see if we can't add another 15 kilos on there. Bars loaded for Jen Averill. She's making her way, getting set up to 165 kilos, 363 pounds. And then Lazaro James on platform 4. Bars loaded, taking the same weight, 440 pounds. Very strong deadlift there for Jen Averill. I mean, that's textbook, ladies and gents. Lazaro James, 60-kilo junior lifter. Very strong there. Very wide stance deadlift, sumo there. again, there's a lot of variation and a lot of preference for these lifters when they get to the platform, and it's all a matter of what is going to give them the best chance at taking the top spot, at getting the most weight on that bar as possible. Here's Karen Wynn, platform 3. This is 363 pounds. And we're on to second attempts here, folks. So this is our second flight of lifters on platform 3. Our last flight of deadlifters on platform 4. Here's John Tran. Currently 5 for 6 on the day, having only missed that last bench attempt, going up 7.5 kilos to 479 pounds. Rose Wong on platform 3, going up 2.5 kilos. Looked like her grip was going to go a smidge on that first attempt, but she locked it in very well for that second. That's going to be a good lift. Great lift there for John Tran. I wonder, oh, 3 white lights, there we go. And if you're watching the screen on platform 4, ladies and gents, you saw the clock kind of run down there. In a different way that squat and bench, you have to get that start command before you time out. With the deadlift, there is no start command. With the deadlift, you only have that With deadlift, you only have that command of down. And so as long as the head referee sees that you're initiating your deadlift, which means the bar is lifting off of the floor, you have full engagement and control. Once the referee sees that you've initiated that lift, then you are no longer at risk of timing out. But let's say you come down to the very last second and your hands are on the bar and it times out, that doesn't count because the lift wasn't then initiated. Just means the bar has to lift off of the ground. Laura Sue coming up next. 170 kilos, 374 pounds. And then Mr. David Miller, our last deadlifter. He's starting off our last flight of action on platform 4. Laura Sue on platform 3. It's going to be an easy second attempt there at 3 white lights. Up next, Miss Lauren Harriman, Team Fueled product. 175 kilos, 385 pounds. Now, Lauren Harriman, like we said, the best female lifter in Georgia. Putting on an absolute show for us today. We'll have to see if she's able to come back for that third attempt there. She wasn't able to get it up to the knees there, and oftentimes all it does take is just a quick conversation between them and the coach. You know, what do you need to do? What do you need to adjust in order to attack this rep, attack this attempt, so that we can finish on a solid note? Ashley Tran and Shreyas Pani, platforms 3 and 4 respectively. Ashley's in the 400 realms, coached by Carrington Amati, 402 pounds on the bar. Shreyas, 418 pounds on the bar, but not able to find his way off the floor there. All right, here's Mr. Levi Saramac, 190 kilos locked and loaded. 418 pounds, currently sitting in first place for the Team 3 60 kilo class. Tara Thomas rocking the all A7 fit. Just released this new colorway. Shout out A7, demand greatness. Vincent Pham up on platform 4 again, looking to retake 195 kilos. We did miss it on that second attempt. On strength, it looked like, but this will keep him in second place. This will keep him on the podium for the Team 3 60 kilo class. Here he goes. Come on, Vincent. Fine lockout. Can he do it? Oh, it's just not going to go. Here's Charissa on platform 3. Oh, we locked out, ladies and gents. We're there. That's going to be a good lift. Coming up next on platform 4, Gabe Arroyo going up 7.5 kilos. Gabe Arroyo, we see Coach Fodrell in the corner, Fodrell Strength Systems. £457 for the Team 360 kilo product. Up on platform 3, Jen Averill. We're now on to third attempts for our second flight there. Here's Gabe. Beautiful. Beautiful there. 15 kilos to 7.5 kilos. Excellent play calling there. Excellent coaching there from Matt Fodrell. Another successful athlete, and I believe Gabe Arroyo has gone 9 for 9 on the day. Quite literally perfect across the board. Coming up next, Mr. Lazaro James on platform 4. Taking the same jump, 207.5 kilos. And bar is now loaded for Lorraine Luna. 172.5 kilos loaded. That's 7.5 kilos on the jump. Coached by Steve DeNovi of PRS Performance. Slower off the floor, able to get to the lockout. Can she find her way? Yes, she can. I didn't see any up and down, just saw the bar stop. Come on, judges. And that was unfortunately going to be a no lift. They did see up and down with that. So that's going to be a no lift. Lorraine will still finish up with 165 kilos on there. And Karen Wynn's going to come up next with 175. That's 385 pokes. We are creeping up, up, and up into the 400s again on platform 3. Platform 4, John Tran, 225 kilos. Our penultimate deadlifter for session 1 of the 2024 USA Powerlifting National Championships. Karen Wynn finding her setup, finding her way to that bar. Can she get it off the ground? Yes, she can. Can she get to lockout? Yes, she can. Ladies and gents, Karen Wynn. 3 white lights on that bar. Unfortunately, John Tran probably should have chalked up just a little bit more, not able to find his way. But John Tran, 7 for 9 on the day. Still an excellent run for his national championships. Rose Wong up next on platform 3. 385 pounds. This is going to put her into second place in this 56 open kilo class. Can she find lockout? Yes, she can. Slow and steady. Oh, no. Looked like it was just starting to come out of the hands there. Here's Noah Garcia, our last deadlifter, folks. Our last deadlifter of the day for platform 4. Noah Garcia, 500 pounds. Putting him into second place for the junior 60 kilos. Can he do it? Little bobble at the top there. Did he hold position well enough? He did not, unfortunately. 2-1, no lift. The refs thought he bobbled just a bit too much for it to go. And that's going to be the end of our action on platform 4, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Unfortunately, my co-host, Mr. Saeed, had to take off on a coaching call, but it's been an honor getting to call this meet with you. Go ahead and tune in later on today, 5:30 Mountain Time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for the first primetime session for the Raw National Championships. But don't go anywhere, folks. We've still got a ton of action left on platform 3. Megan Smith is going to take our third to last deadlift. 190 kilos there. Wait a minute. We see a little bit of a LiftingCast snafu there. Nope, this is Megan Smith. Yes. Ashley Tran went in and changed her third attempt there. That's a good lift for Megan Smith, I hope. Come on, judges. Oh, unfortunately, it's not going to be a good lift there. We're seeing a little bit of a delay here with LiftingCast, and such is technology. Nothing is a perfect system, but we do try our best. Here's Ashley Tran. 7.5 kilos. All right, here's Ashley Tran, bars loaded for her. Beautiful run there, Ashley Tran, what a go. Oh, hey, he's back.
I'm back.
So platform 4 is done. They're chilling. We're just on platform 3 now.
Wow, that's fast.
And we've only got one more flight left. Tara Thomas is going to be our last deadlifter for the second flight on platform 3 before we move on to our last daytime flight of the day, ladies and gents. And what a first session it's been, folks. We've seen some awesome, awesome powerlifting thus far, and it's only the first session. We've got 9 more sessions.
Oh, my goodness.
Throughout this week.
There
4
you go,
more
Tara.
days of action.
That was a grinder.
Ooh, looks like she came off there a little gingerly. Looks like she might have put a little bit too much than her body was able to handle there, but glad to see she's still able to come off the platform.
Right.
Good, she's healthy.
Do I really laugh like Seth Rogen? I really don't think so.
Estefan, you're really putting Siraj in his head right now. I don't know that he knows what to do.
You just did it just now. Oh my! What's your favorite Seth Rogen movie?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I love Pineapple Express, but it's probably got to be The Interview.
The Interview is really good. This is the End is also really good.
Oh, This is the End is perfect. So this is not Tara Thomas. This is actually Billy Morales. 175 kilos. And that's going to be a good lift.
Hey, Travis. Travis.
LiftingCast on 3.
All right. We got up here. Christopher is up here. No, it's all back. We're all good to go. And Nick Stevens is back.
Hi. Here's Mr. Christopher Persons. That was a good lift for him. We've got Mr. Min Win up next now. I'm hearing Gino yell, so I wonder what's going on platforms 1 and 2.
Something's happening.
Something's happening. Something's going on.
Here, let's do something fun. All right, we got it.
We could just simply pull up the other platforms. We have the technology.
Oh! I don't know what's happening. There you go. There it is.
Here's Mr. Min Win. $60 kilos body weight, opening with 413 pounds. Min Win on platform 3. Easy opener there. Oh, it looks like we had one of our Masters lifters hit a record, possibly, maybe.
Yeah, and it was just a big support. You know what's great about the powerlifting community? The amount of support that we have.
Oh my gosh, the community is my best part of the powerlifting community.
Right. I definitely would say the support is a big thing, and I feel like no matter what, we're all here to have a good time, all have fun, and let's all support each other. All right, Brian. Is that Brian?
That is Brian.
Brian Nguyen is up next.
No, this is Mr. Dennis Worley.
Dennis Worley?
We're ahead.
Or did they skip each other? Oh.
I don't know what happened here. They went for the same weight. So, yeah, that was Dennis Worley. Now it's on Brian Wynn.
Okay, so they were just out of order on LiftingCast?
I think LiftingCast is caught up now.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Nobody say a thing. All right, now we're getting the bar loaded here for Brian. Clock hasn't started yet. I think we should be okay. Here we go. All right, LiftingCast is caught up. Clock started. Now Brian Wynn's coming out. Plenty of time on the clock here.
What are those slippers?
I'm not sure. I've seen those. I'm not sure if they have a brand even. But, I mean, they're the truest slippers that slippers could be.
That's true.
Might have to look into that. Looks like that's going to be a good lift for Brian Wynn, 2-1.
2-1 is a good lift.
Up next, John Azel, 451 pounds.
Is that his body weight? Oh, no. It's just lifting. Is that Greece?
That is Finland.
Finland, all right.
That is Finland, the SBD Finnish national singlet.
I need to learn my flags better. I can tell you right now, I know which one's my Mexican flag.
There you go.
Yes.
All right, we're back, folks. We couldn't leave you for too long.
Yeah,
we're back, folks. We got the action back up and started here.
We want to have a good show going on.
Here's Brian Wynn. Oh. And that's where we see with sumo deadlift especially, you know, it lends itself to being a lot more technical than the conventional pull, and any minor misstep outside of that general range of motion is going to it's not going to go. It's going to make it so much harder to overcome that. Which is why, you know, we see sumo lifters, if the bar gets out in front of them, like we say, or if there's space between the legs and the bar, it's more often than not, they're probably going to miss it. And if they don't, they're going to take themselves completely out of position to do so.
Right. John Azazel, great Finland singlet and a great lift.
Up next is, it's Sean. 496 pounds.
I see what you did there. Oh,
it's my first name pun of the week. I gotta keep him locked and loaded.
You still got a whole weekend, man. You gotta let him go. Calvin Band says hello. Oh, so S. Steven, not Steven.
Sean O. Oh my goodness, what a deadlift that was. That's a good lift.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was.
Are you done yet? Here's Tyler. Are you done?
Excellent. Excellent. Top notch. Well done. All right, Tyler Dunn here. 245 kilos, 540 pounds. A clean 4 reds, green, and a collar. One of my favorite combos to look at. Very strong deadlift here. Tyler Dunn, 60 kilos body weight. So this is pretty darn close to 4 times body weight.
Yes, easily. That'd look good. I would be happy with that. He's at the bottom of the flight, right?
Yes. Oh, he's the last puller of the flight.
Perfect. Nice.
And speaking of the last pullers of the flight, this is it, ladies and gents. This is it, our last flight of deadlifting for the 2024 USA Powerlifting National Championships, Day 1, Session 1. We have reached the end.
I feel great.
I honestly feel great. I kind of want to stay for Primetime.
I got to check out our vendors as well. We got Limitless, A7. Is 110 should be here by now?
110, yep, old Kevin Papa. If you're watching at home and you saw Kevin Papa's story, the TSA didn't think that all of his supremely formulated pre-workouts and supplements weren't legal, but they were only the best from Kevin Papa.
Yes. Which I think is hysterical.
I love that. Only for you, ladies and gentlemen. Only for you people at home.
All right, Christopher, let's go. Let's see what you got. 200 keys, 440 pounds. Let's see what he's got.
Off the floor. Can he get to the lockout?
Just hit the knees a little bit. Sometimes if you notice a lot of lifters, they really baby powder around right above their knees or quads to make sure they can, because that's a good sticking point. Because sometimes when you have such big legs, that could slow that momentum where that bar is coming up.
Absolutely.
Billy Morales is up next, 205 kilos.
451 pounds. Currently sitting in 6th place at the moment for the men's 60-kilo class.
All right, guys, if you guys want to comment the last bit before we finish up for this meet and before me and Nick have to say goodbye, please throw in some last-minute questions, and we should be able to answer them. All right, Billy, let's go. Good, Billy. Come on, look at that. Push.
Oh, what a grind that was. He gave it all he could. That's that 3rd attempt there, and 7.5 kilos, not a whole lot lost on the total there. He truly gave it every last kilo. Billy Morales currently sitting at 6th place, but with the subsequent pulls that we're about to see from Min and Dennis and Brian, that could be shaking up the placings just a little bit here.
Right.
Min Win coming out now. This is going to put him in 4th place, which would then push everybody back just a little bit, putting Billy in that 7th place spot.
Does he have baby powder on his legs?
He does. He does. That's a, I mean, you couldn't tell because it's covering his entire leg.
Let's go, man. Come on, last pull. 207.5. There you go. Look at that.
Clean. Clean as a whistle.
That was great. He's happy with that. He's very happy with that. Five more lifters, counting Dennis.
That's right. 5 more, and we're all set to go, ladies and gents.
What happened again with Dennis's first lift? Was it just out of position or something like that?
I'm not entirely sure, because he did come back and get that second attempt at 7.5 kilos up.
Yeah.
And this is another 7.5 kilo jump, so I imagine it was something along the lines of technique there. Possibly some up and downward motion at lockout.
Yeah.
Maybe missed the down command. It you know, what it could be a number of things.
Yeah, we actually didn't go into the rules. You only get 1 command for deadlift.
Down.
That's it.
I did talk about the clock, though, while you were gone. I was talking about
really?
the clock there.
Okay.
You have to initiate the lift before the time runs. Dennis Worley finds his way to the top.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's stoked about that one, and I think we are, too.
Yeah, that's a good lift.
Good lift, 3 white lights. And that put Dennis Worley comfortably in 5th place.
Right.
Now, Brian Wynn has a chance to pull into the 6th place spot.
Just so you guys know, for the raw nets, we do the top 5 lifters, not the top 3. A lot of local meets do top 3. For nets, it's top 5. So you can still podium being the top 5.
That's right. And it looks like we do have that solidified at the moment. 4th and 5th are already solidified. Dennis Worley's in 5th, Min currently in 4th. Brian Wynn only going to take him to 6th with this pull.
Right.
Let's see what he's got here.
Lockout.
He held on to it.
Yeah.
I would give that whites.
Let's see what they give him. No.
This is why I'm not a national level referee, of course. It was very, very minuscule. It looks like his shoulders were just over the bar a little bit there.
Right. I mean, the thing is, the left referee gave him a white light. He could technically challenge it if he wants to.
Yeah.
But, again, it should be fine. Sean O, John Azale, and Tyler Dunn are last lifters of Platform 3.
And this is the battle for the top. This is the battle for 1st, 2nd, 3rd between Sean, John, and Tyler. All of them, so Sean and John within just a few kilos of each other, so that could be possible in terms of a shakeup there. But Tyler Dunn looks to be kind of running away with this one on pulls here.
Right.
But here's Sean O. Bars loaded now, 232.5 kilos, looking to put him into 2nd place over John Azel.
All right, let's see what Sean, guys. If you guys are fans of Sean, give him all your energy right now. Let's give it up to him. I like the Titan red and black.
I do. It's simple, sleek, classic, elegant.
Yes.
Very demure. I had to say it once. I'll never say it again. Here's Sean O. Can he do it?
Oh, yes, he can. There. Come on. Go. Oh. That was a good attempt.
I was going to say, what a show that was from John. His only missed lift of the day, so he'll go 8 for 9.
Sean.
He is your bronze medalist in the 60-kilo class.
I would be happy. At a national, he is nationally ranked.
Mm-hmm.
All right, John Azale. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he can do for Finland.
The only thing I've been nationally ranked at, Call of Duty. Barely, for a day. John Azel. 237.5 kilos, 523 pounds.
Let's go, John. Pull in for to stay in 2nd.
Oh, this is
yeah.
Stay in 2nd. He is going to win the Team 360 kilo class with this pull. Should it be a good lift? And it is.
Oh, he's happy.
Whoa, wait a minute. We saw 2-to-1. What is? Oh, okay. So 2-to-1 last lift. 2-to-1. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
yes.
We're good now. We're good.
We're catching up.
LiftingCast is caught up.
All right, Tyler Dunn.
And after this, we are indeed Tyler Dunn with this session.
So wait, Dunn is last for our Dunn session?
Tyler Dunn is last for this session. He is the last puller.
So we'll be done.
We will be fully done.
Last name Dunn.
Done.
For Dunn.
Done.
Okay. Let's see what he's got.
Here we go, Tyler. 60 kilos, 567 pounds. Already your solidified first place finisher in the men's 60 kilo open class. Let's see if he's able to widen the gap here with 257.5 kilos.
Let's go, Dunn. Come on, Tyler. I like the concentration, the setup. Oh, come on, come on.
Can't get
Come
the hit. Can't get, yeah. So close. And you can tell the intensity he had with that. He was ready to just fire out of the hole there.
He gave it all. I would be happy with it. Great attempt. Great work.
And what a great finish to the first session of the 2024 USA Powerlifting Raw National Championships here in beautiful Salt Lake City. We're done with the first session. Tune in at 5:30 for Primetime. And we've got tons more action left throughout the rest of the weekend. You'll probably hear me on the mic a couple more times throughout the week. Siraj, I don't know if you'll be on the mic again.
I'll be there tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for the first session of the day.
There we go.
And then I'll be done. And then I'll be handling the on Saturday.
There we go. And then, yeah, both he and I are handling on Saturday, so you'll see us around the way. But thank you guys so much at home for tuning in. I know all of our lifters appreciate your patience and you are getting to watch them compete. It's been an honor. My name is Nick Stevens.
And I'm Siraj Saeed. I do want to say one last thing. Thank you to all the spotters,
volunteers,
referees, everyone, all the spectators, all the athletes, and all the sponsors.
And the Barbell production crew.
Thank you guys all for everything. We really appreciate you. And, again, meets don't happen without volunteers. So please, please, please do volunteer if you can.
That's right.
We'd love to see you guys later for Prime Time and throughout this whole weekend. Have a great day, guys.
Peace and blessings. See you later.
See ya.